Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kaiju Weekly News, the weekly podcast interviews. Oh boy, this is getting off to a rough start. We talk about the news around kaiju and giant monsters. Hi, I'm your host, Michael, along with Nathan Marchand.
Hello.
Elijah Thomas.
Hello.
Turtle Man.
Turtle Man.
Turtle Man
Oh,
Damana.
That's
Turtle
that's
Man?
the
That's the
Turtle Man.
squeaky hammer, sir.
That's the squeaky
Turtle Man.
hammer.
So
I
is-
didn't.
So
I
is he
couldn't tell
actually
what it
Turbo
was.
Man?
Turbo Man.
Yeah,
Does anybody know
on.
my name? Does anybody know my real name? I just asking for a friend.
It's
No.
Bob, right?
This
No.
is wrong. Michael, your turn. What's my name?
Oh,
What's your name?
I'm back.
Daddy. I mean, Danny.
My name's Danny. Moving on.
We've got a couple of special guests with us, starting with my good friend Joe of Married to Kaiju. Say hello. Hey, say hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
What do you know?
Wow.
Just got back from COVID.
Committed to the bit.
Well, that didn't take long. What was that, 30 seconds? Thanks, guys, for having me on. I appreciate it. I do the Married to Kaiju YouTube channel, where I unbox and review a bunch of cool Godzilla, Power Rangers, and other Toku properties. I am the rudest, crudest way. You will see all of that stuff reviewed because I don't edit. I don't know how to edit. Everyone calls me Pawpaw when it comes to technology because it's by the grace of God I can actually turn a computer on, and that's not a joke. So
This is true. This is true. Joe, I have to ask, where's the little red X?
So it drops down apparently if you hover the arrow thing. Back in the day, they used to just be on the screen the whole time, but now you have to bring it up.
In my day.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I had to yell to my wife last night to figure out how to close a window.
Mal. And beside our good friend Joe is our other good friend Eric Stolp of the Bearded Kaiju Unboxing and Reviews. Say hello, Eric.
hello, Eric.
2
for 2.
Attaboy, Eric.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, what's going on,
love
everybody?
it.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's an honor to be on here. Been watching you guys since you first started this new layout and stuff like that. So just be honored to be on here. And of course, I do figures and reviews on my channel, Bearded Kaiju Unboxing Reviews. I also host my own podcast, A Lowdown, where I'll have different people on there discussing different topics and stuff like that. So we just have a lot of fun. So,
Which is the greatest show on the internet. It is. It's the greatest show. It's
Mind
the
the
greatest
dog.
show on the internet. And the dog even says so. It's the
I was gonna
greatest show.
say who just brought the dog home?
Lucy girl.
who let the
Oh.
dog out?
No, who let the dog in?
Yes, quite. And speaking of
Aha.
yes, quite, looks like we have a few people watching us right now. I hope more people trickle in. But the first person to say hello is our good friend, Miss Kaiju Kim, the
Hello,
queen.
Kaiju Kim.
Oh, the
Hi,
fabulous
Kaiju
Kim.
Kim, thank you so much for the impromptu shout out I was able to give at the end of G Fest on your channel. That was I don't know if you remember, but I'm one of the guys from Beast of the East, and
I was gonna mention that.
yeah, thank you so much for that, Kim. It was greatly appreciated. It was very nice of you. Hopefully we could do something, a collaboration of some sort in the future. I would love that.
Yes, Kim is wonderful people. Kim is wonderful people. So before we get a little too off the rails, we got to get into some news. So, Danny, would you like to do the honors this time?
But I like to do the honors. Boy, howdy, would I like to do
You're
the
on
honors.
it.
So there's really, like I said, we spent a lot of time last week talking about Godzilla -1, because of course we did. But the big news this week is
Whoa.
Is the queuing
Of
the
Hang on.
BD?
I know we got to do that, but you ruined my dramatic thing. Dang it!
Oh,
I wasn't gonna
I'm
just
sorry.
jump into it.
Hold on,
I'm
rewind.
sorry.
We can rewind this.
Rewind. We're doing it live. F it. We're doing it live.
So anyway, the big news this week is Cue the beady beady. Thank.
We got extra.
Hey, we-
Oh my gosh, I won't stop.
Keep
One
going.
for every
that was
head.
one more
That was
time.
2 for each
No,
head.
no,
That was
no, no.
two
We
for
had
each
more.
3, so we had 1 for each
One
head.
more time. Okay.
Wow.
A small beady. Not
A
the
small
beady.
beady.
A baby beady.
Baby beady.
Baby beady.
Okay, so yes, you're right. We do have our top story to get to in just a moment. But before we do, I just have to do some shameless self promotion. And talk
I'm gonna
about
copyright that, and you're gonna pay me money every time you use it.
the hell I will. We're going to talk about issue 10 coming up very, very soon. So issue 10 of Kaiju magazine will be out at the end of what is it? When is it? Eric, Elijah. We're planning for the end of August.
It's early to mid-August. Early to
Early to
It's
mid
gonna go
August.
live.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, production manager Elijah. So early to mid August, we will have issue 10 of Kaiju magazine out, featuring all of Godzilla's most infamous battles and rivals. So look out for that. But we have to get into. Hang on. I got to get the. I know how to do this, guys. I promise. We got to get into our top story. So our top story this week is, as aforementioned by Mr. Damana, The Whale God is up for pre-order, and so I wasn't sure why the Whale God was important until I had to ask Elijah. So since I had to ask Elijah why the Whale God was important, I'm going to let Danny start and tell us why the Whale God was important.
Wow. So the Whale God it's being marketed as a part of SRS's Kaiju lineup, and in reality, you have to kind of squint and turn your head sideways for that to work. But it is technically a creature feature, kinda, but it's mostly a drama, an historical drama piece. It is a very significant film. It's not like the biggest thing ever, but it is kind of a prestige. If you want to call it a creature feature, then you could call it a prestige creature feature. It's got a heck of a cast on it. It's got a heck of a backstory to it. It's essentially, in a nutshell, a Japanese take on Melville. It's Japanese Moby Dick. But instead of it being filtered through that sensibility, it's filtered through Jidaigeki. It's filtered through Japanese like period pieces. It's the story of this fishing village that's been besieged by this massive whale that is so like omnipotent in a way. Like, it's like this hugely powerful thing. It has this almost godlike feel to it. And this fisherman, his family has been trying to take it down forever, and nobody's been able to do it. There's definitely a lot of Melville, a lot of Ahab in this guy. There are a lot of interpersonal things going on. Nothing I'm going to spoil, but it's really, really solid. It is a really solid film. It's got great visual effects. I could go on and on. I won't, but I'll give special shout out to the Akira Ifukube score. I'll give special shout out to, it's also a Dai film, I should mention. So there are regular Dai players in there. And I won't hog the spotlight because I see Elijah's hand up and I know he wants to talk about it. So I will yield the floor so you can say the other half. Why is this movie important?
So I want to interject. While everybody in the Kaiju fandom will know Takashi Shimura, who is in this movie.
Kojiro Hongo, they'll know him.
And Akira Ifukube. I want to take a highlight to the writer of the film, which, if I remember correctly, is none other than Kanto Shindo, if I remember correctly. Correct?
It's a Kanto Shindo film, yeah.
So he is actually one of the most prolific period piece writers and directors. For anybody who's a fan of J-horror, you would know him for Onibaba, the 1964 masterpiece.
Masterpiece. That movie is impeccable.
And it's not even really a J. It's Onibaba is basically the god whale of J-horror. It's a horror movie, but you kind of have to squint at it. It's horror in all the right ways. He also did a film. He directed a film about the Lucky Dragon number 5 incident in 1959, which is amazing. And he also did the 1968 J horror film Kuroneko, a very well-made Japanese horror film. That is true J horror. So I just wanted to bring up that momentarily because I don't think that's been talked about enough.
No, I would agree with that. I would agree. I think having somebody of Shindo's caliber working on this thing. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and rattle off everyone that worked on this. It's worth looking into it yourself and figuring things out, and definitely pre-ordering it. But yeah, this is a very, very good film. This is a film that I read about. I want to say I read about it in Stuart Galbraith's book 1,000 years ago, and it was something. I think that's where I read about it. I think that's where I read about it, and I was like, I have to find this thing. And I found it, oh my gosh, I don't know, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Completely fell in love with it. It has not been available officially outside of Japan, well, in the US specifically, until now. This is a huge get for SRS Cinema. This is about as prestigious as they've ever gotten. I mean, you know, it's the opposite end of the spectrum from House Shark. You know, this is the good killer,
or about
killer
half
you
of their kaiju output.
Hey,
like Zillafoot.
Hey,
wow.
wow!
I will
you
not
are
have-
talking
I mean,
two people
okay.
on set of
I-
Zillafoot right now.
Hang
How dare
on.
you.
To be fair, Nathan is right. Like, because aside from a handful of titles, this movie has way more dignity than what SRS Cinema has been pumping out, but what they're actually known for. Before I give my thoughts, I want to give Joe and Eric some time to talk. Have you guys heard of the Well God, or what are your thoughts on this?
Who do you want to go first?
Fight.
Go ahead, Eric.
Me? I'll go. So I haven't heard about this before until actually talking to you, Michael. So yeah, it's all brand new to me. So actually, I should thank Elijah for telling you, and you told me. So spreading the word and stuff like that obviously is a great thing. But yeah, just what you've told me, Michael, it actually has me intrigued. I kind of read into it. I looked it up on the website and everything. It's in my cart right now, so I just have to, press order and everything. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued with it. It does sound interesting, and I'm gonna give it a shot because I like period pieces like that and everything, old Japanese and stuff like that. Like that's kind of in my wheelhouse. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Joe?
Yeah, kind of the same with Eric. You had told us about it, and I'm interested to watch it just as a, I guess, point of context, just to kind of see what it's all about. I mean, I can't say I'm like a huge Moby Dick fan per se, but I'll watch the movies, just read the books, I guess, maybe if I had time one day or something. But I'm interested. I can't say that I'm over the moon because I'm not overly knowledgeable on it or anything like that, but it's definitely something that I'm going to watch at least once. But I'm going to go into it with an open mind, and hopefully I fall in love with it. And I think the last Moby Dick anything I watched or read or whatever was The Heart of the Sea with Chris.
Well, in the Heart of the Sea, yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was good. I liked it. I liked the music and score, and the visuals were good and all that stuff. So if it follows kind of the same premise, I'm sure I'll like it. If it goes crazy, I'm sure I'd like it too. So I'm open-minded to it.
Wow. Yeah, it's an interesting little film because, correct me if I'm wrong, Danny or Elijah or Nathan, it was lost for a while, yeah? Like,
No.
it's not
This
been-
one was
No, it wasn't
It's never
lost.
lost.
It just wasn't readily available. This is
Okay.
not a lost film by any stretch of
So,
the imagination.
so the fact that this has been remastered and given a wide release, I think, is the most interesting part for me. I've never watched The Whale God. I've read Moby Dick, but I've never watched The Whale God. So I'm interested to see it for the first time. I just like the fact that we're getting some of these more obscure titles now, like these more obscure tokusatsu titles. Because there's only so many times I can watch a Godzilla movie. Like I love Godzilla, but I love
Just
all
out of
these-
curiosity, did anyone mention that this is a Daiei film?
I did.
Okay,
Danny
just
Boy
making
did.
sure.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. This is
their
a
first.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be their first. Yeah.
pre-Gamera, pre-yokai creature feature. And again, I'm saying it's a creature feature, and that is real. Like you really have to put an asterisk on that. But I don't want the asterisk to be big enough that it dissuades kaiju fans from watching it, because the effects are great.
This is the first time Daiei used kaiju tokusatsu effects.
Yes, this is a tokusatsu film. Absolutely. I mean, this uses. I'm telling you what, man. Like it's the whale. If you're expecting 90 minutes of a whale destroying things, then I hate to tell you, this is not that film. But the moments where this is one of those things where the whale is such an integral part of the story, and it's such a force of nature that when it's not on screen, you feel its presence just as much as when it is. And when it is, the effects do not disappoint. They are astonishingly good, especially the focus on the eyes of the whale. The fact that they built a big giant prop that the actors could climb on and try to harpoon. And when you see that thing slicing through the water and you hear Ifukube-san's music, it's a kaiju movie at that point. Like at that point, you're sucked in, and yeah, it's great. This film is really pretty darn masterful. It's one of those movies where now that it's up for pre-order, I obviously pre-ordered it pretty much within the first second that it went up.
Right.
And I did it because I'd love my copy is, it's not an official copy. And I want to support an official copy. I always get SRS Cinema's kaiju releases to support them, to show Daiei or Katakawa now that there's a market for these things in the US. That's important. But my big thing is I'm just excited for more people to finally see this movie that I've loved for years. That's my big thing, is whenever one of these movies gets announced, a lot of the times I've seen it. Like I've seen a lot of these films, unless they're newer films. This is a classic from the 60s, and I've seen it, many times before. I'm pumped for more fans in the West to discover this film and love it like I do. That's really important to me. It gets more eyes on this stuff. It gets more eyes on the art form. And I'm excited for people to see it.
Before we move on to movies and TV, anyone else have any more thoughts on The Well God before we move on?
We should probably real quick mention that this thing is up for pre-order now. It's expected to ship.
Oh, yes.
Late November or into December potentially. And also, there are only 2,000 of these things being made. This is how SRS operates. They operate on a limited production run. The initial batch of 1,000 is going to be shipped with an O card, and if you order right now from SRS's website, you will get a poster of Bob Eggleton's beautiful cover art for this thing. Bob never disappoints. He's genetically incapable of doing so, and this is now one of my favorite pieces ever from him. It's a beautiful cover. It looks like a Criterion cover. They really went out of their way to make this look like a prestige release. But yeah, only 2,000 of these things are coming out. Get it while you can. 1,000 of them will have the case. Get those while you can. And while supplies last, you can either get the poster folded in the package, or for like an extra $1, you can have it sent unfolded and rolled in a poster tube. But once they're gone, they're not coming back. Now, for this, depending on how well it sells, I would think that they might do a general release DVD run later. They've done that for a lot of their films. Usually they'll release a limited number of blues, and then they'll do a mass release version that you can get in Walmarts. I don't know.
And in one instance, they did a second run of the Blu-ray.
Yes, they had to do that for Howl from Beyond the Fog because it was such a popular release. I want this sucker to sell out. I want people to buy this movie and support it and see it. But that's my only note. Anybody else? Well done.
You should also be noted here on the listing that it says if you send in a testimonial about this particular movie, you could get in to the extras. And I know that several of us in this call have talked about possibly doing something along those lines. So
Yes, there have been
well,
discussions.
we'll keep you informed about that.
Yeah, I wanted to do something for the Wong Mogwai Blu-ray, but I unfortunately ran out of time to work on that. But yeah, Whale God, I'm excited.
I feel like we should bring up at least the current bonus features.
Please
which do include English subtitles. The trailer, I don't know if it's going to be the original Japanese trailer. If we're talking traditionally, they do include those, and then they include like an SRS release trailer. There is a bonus feature called Moby Dick or the Whale in Japan by Henning Strauss, and Whales in Japanese Folklore by Eugene Alejandro. There are the SRS trailers, the optional limited edition O-card slip, which what that is, so I have a DVD here. It doesn't have an O-card slip, but it would be the slip cover that slides on this way, not up and down. It goes sideways.
The new Gorgo 4K has an O slip.
Yes. And this lists more. There will be testimonials. But that's it right now. There's not a lot to this release. I don't know how negative I should get here. I will say, so I know the history of this release, which is quite endearing. Ron and Avery outdid themselves as per usual. This release is all thanks to Avery. Avery is the one that got Bob involved. Avery's the one that got Dai to talk to them. Avery's the one that reached out to Ron and SRS and whatnot. So this release has been 4 years in the making, which is pretty astonishing that they've tried this long. That being said, I will say I do hope that this release that they're clearly treating as a more prestige release gets more prestige stuff. That's one thing I'm a little worried about is with Arrow running the Dai Katakawa releases for the last handful of years with their Ring box set and Gamera and Yokai and Dead or Alive and One Missed Call and all their J-horror stuff, even like Ju-on most recently. They were in good hands. And they were amazing box sets. There was some like amazing docs on those, some great bonus features, commentaries, artwork, booklets, all that good jazz. But SRS does not have the budget to do that. So Whale God, while being a very historically important film, may unfortunately be put to the wayside when it comes to the quality of the content on the release beyond the movie itself. But that being said, the movie itself is still definitely worth picking up. If it does well, I mean, with all companies, if they can make enough money, they can start putting in more money to release stuff and put more effort in. So we could definitely see in the future better releases of this stuff, of course. But if it does, I mean, it has to do well. If we want to see SRS continue to work with like Dai Katakawa, maybe even eventually like Toho or Toei or Shochiku or Nakatsu or Subaraya or somebody, they're gonna have to do well. And this is one of their two biggest acquisitions. One of their three biggest acquisitions ever. And it has to do well for them to warrant licensing more. Thankfully, Wing Mogwai did well, because that was their biggest license at the time. But Whale God has since taken I think the reins on that, at least until their next title they've already announced, which is Great Yokai War 2 Guardians. This is their currently most expensive acquisition that's been announced and put up for pre-order. So if it doesn't do well, that's not going to bode too well for the future of these A-tier titles released from SRS, which unfortunately could lead to them just not being picked up because for some reason Arrow Video did not feel the need to continue acquiring films from Daiei Kitagawa.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree it's still probably going to be better than the Shin Ultraman release from Cleopatra.
There we go.
I have to take
There we go.
There we
that
go.
has
All
now
right.
become like Adam Wingard with Elijah. I have to take a shot at least once an episode now.
Do you,
Yes,
though?
we know.
Do you, though?
Well, at least it's
I
not as
haven't-
bad as. At least it's not as bad as TJ Storm. At least it's not as bad as TJ Storm. Okay,
I'm
so
thinking a
let's-
statement, but I can't say it on this stream.
can't say it on this show.
Yeah, that
before
goes
we-
double for you, Michael.
Before we move on, we have to say hello to our friend Brendan at Autistic Lizard Productions.
buddy.
Hello, Brendan. Brendan says he's going to have to give it a try. So
Do it.
please,
Do it. It's
please
great.
do. Please
Do it
please
and
Brendan.
do some of your awesome fan art for it. I want to see it.
Yes, absolutely. Also, we have to say hello to someone named He's Passed. Hello, He's Passed. But are you present? But you're present now, but you're
Ooh,
past.
well played.
I don't understand. Anyway, also, Jose Campos. Jose, how are you doing, good sir? Thank you for popping in. So now let's move on to movies and TV, and to for us to successfully right on time. Hello, Adrian.
Oh,
how are you?
Time.
There he is.
Speaking of time, he may not be on time, but he's here. Hello, Adrian.
We
It
don't
is-
have the time to talk about time.
The fourth member of the Monsters with Attitude Wolfpack, Black and Red.
I was going to say, this officially makes this the biggest Kaiju ramen stream ever. Oh, Kaiju Weekly stream, I should say, stream ever. And
Oh yeah.
this is
know,
basically a
time.
Monsters with Attitude panel now.
Wolfpack for life.
Or is it more like a massive crossover? I guess that's what-
Time.
It's a crush.
It's a takeover. Anyway,
We're in
Adrian,
It's a takeover.
But is it a hostile takeover? Is the real
It's
question.
a
Well,
hostage
that's
takeover.
only because Michael has got
Peaceful.
1 foot in each camp, so he doesn't know what he's
Time.
doing.
I don't know where my allegiances lie at this point.
We know where your allegiance is, Michael. Don't worry.
Yeah, we know my
It's
people.
definitely with the guys who can get him more adult toys.
There are definitely going to be some interesting things in our Kaiju Ramen group chat on Facebook after this one. I'm going to say that.
Absolutely. Adrian, before we move on to movies and TV, say hello to the fine folks. I let Joe and Eric kind of give some plugs or just mention what they're involved in. So go ahead.
What's up, Kaiju family? This is Godzilla Chain 1090 on YouTube and on Instagram. YouTube, of course, for my figure reviews, and Instagram for my toy photography. And of course, I'm the co-founder of Monsters of Attitude as well. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope y'all doing great. Hope y'all enjoying the show so far. And let's continue to have a great show, guys.
And I'm glad you got your mic fixed. Thank you, Lord.
You're welcome.
We did that just for you, Michael. Just for you.
Okay, so we're in
So
movies.
time.
We're in movies
Time
and TV.
is a thing that never stops
Oh God.
and it never will.
Oh,
Just like
Jesus.
how I, Rick Tamlin, will give you the movies and television news for this week.
I thought he was quoting an Eminem song.
And live this week, I'm going to move my camera.
Do it, you fool.
Godzilla -1 producer revealed Kazuki Koshida, Toho producer of Ghost Book and various Takashi Yamazaki films. The Godzilla vs. Kong CG companies have been revealed. Rumors continue to spin with Godzilla Singular Point Season 2 coming along with a cryptic tweet from one of the creators of the show.
Please.
Max Luce's Godzilla 2014 and King Kong 1933, August 31st of 2023. G-Fest rooms have gone live. Order yours now. Bob Eggleton is tapped to do the cover art for the Great Yokai War 2 Guardians Blu-ray box set from SRS Cinema.
Ooh.
Gorgo 4Ks are now shipping to the people that purchased them from Vinegar Syndrome. Pushy 35 has received more funding from fan donations. Midnight the Era continues to share BTS of filming while its newest crowdfunding campaign continues. While the campaign has been continuing, it has been revealed that Midnight the Era will be officially released by SRS Cinema in the United States on Blu-ray once completed. The Meg 2, The Trench, releases new stills along with an interview with director Ben Wheatley. As for Ultraman YouTube releases, Ultraman Blazar continues with episode 4, Thus Fought Emmy. Godzilla YouTube continues with Godzilla Island, episodes 41, Mothra, Little Mothra, and episode 42, A Suspicious Delivery.
Also,
And as for Volt V Legacy, episodes 56 through 60 have been released onto the GMA website. And that is all of our news for this week. It's still me on the camera.
sure
Yes,
is.
I know. So the way we do, I know everyone here is familiar with how we do things, but for the benefit of the viewers watching, we like to go through the list, pick one item to talk about to spend a few minutes on, and then kind of go from there. So I'm actually going to go in order of our guests because you guys are the newbies. I'm going to go with Eric first. What from this list would you like to spend a few minutes and discuss?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Would you like to look at the list, sir?
Yeah, well, yeah. What's the list again? Say it again.
Yeah,
Okay.
check the private chat. There's a link.
Okay, so
Hello,
we'll come
everybody.
Back
I am Brick
Yes.
Tamlin.
we'll come back to Eric. Joe, is there anything on this list that you'd like to spend a few minutes talking about?
I'm sure there is, but I'm reading the list. I'm going to say, honestly, I think I'm most excited for Singular Point Season 2.
Okay.
heck
All
yeah.
right. Yes. Okay. Good. We'll start there. So I'm really excited for season 2 as well. I'm hoping that it finally pays off the ending that we saw teased with Mechagodzilla.
Oh,
That's what I'm really excited about. I enjoyed Singular. I know Singular Point was divisive, just like everything else that we've seen the last couple of years.
A couple of
Singular
years,
Point-
more like a couple of decades.
Singular Point was divisive, but I enjoyed Singular Point. I enjoyed Singular Point more than other things released on Netflix that shall remain nameless.
That's Nathan's other trigger. Don't do it.
Planet of Monsters, Mechagodzilla City, and Planet Eater.
Bingo.
Oh,
Bingo.
I thought you were talking about
Bingo.
oh, never mind.
Okay.
Oh, so Joe, what are you most excited for about Singular Point?
so Godzilla Ultima. I wasn't necessarily a fan of like the evolutionary stages. Like I think that like Godzilla Terrestrius should have been just like Gorosaurus, things like that.
Mhm.
And Aquatus should have been a new version of Titanosaurus or whatever. But the Ultima design, it grew on me. At first I was kind of like, I don't know, but it grew on me, and it grew on me big time. So I'm excited. But we didn't really get to see it like battle. You know what I mean? Like we know it's powerful. We know it can level a city like any Godzilla, but like I want to see it now start to do some battle with other kaiju. I want to see it fight Mechagodzilla. And not only that, but like I want to see Singular Point's version of I'm sorry.
I was agreeing with Kim's. The music is amazing.
Yeah.
And I want to see Singular Point's versions of Gigan, Ghidra, Destroya. Like I like go crazy with the designs in these anime things. I've said that for a couple of years now. That like to me, as much as I like Shin Godzilla as a live action, like the anime is your chance to go crazy and do all those things that your budget doesn't allow you to do in live action. So I would love to see, battles and scenarios and maybe locations and kaiju or concepts, of kaiju that we just never could do because the suits cost too much money or the CGI, whatever. And, go crazy. That's what I think the anime should be, and that's what I'm excited for. Because I feel like they went kind of very sci-fi fantasy with it, and I would like to see that continue.
Yeah, it's very hard
So-
sci-fi.
So
Very
to-
hard sci-fi.
To kind of bounce off of that a little bit, you'll be happy to know, Joe, that the person who tweeted this was To Enjo, which was the writer, and he was the one that said there may or may not be a season 2. So if there is a season 2, it will be the same writer. So
Oh,
you'll still have that heavy sci-fi.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can't do more Singular Point without Enjo-san and his incredible brain powering the insanity, the wonderful insanity of that show.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see what they decide to do with a season 2. I wonder why they've waited as long
Probably.
to do a season 2.
Okay, in all fairness, Singular Point season 1 started in development in like 2016.
It took a long time.
Like it took that long, and in all fairness, like between the writing and the animating, both 3D and 2D, like that's got to take a long time.
I bet, yeah, probably does. And it also doesn't help that Netflix is not having the best of times right now.
That's probably the bigger thing.
Yeah, although now might be a prime opportunity with everything going on in Hollywood right now with the strikes. Now might be a prime opportunity for these foreign studios to get stuff made, because Netflix has got to fill their content well with something. And I hope it's not more Skull Island. Bam!
Here we go.
Nate Broken Record Marchand. There he
Love
is.
Love it. Adrian, how did you like the original Singular Point, and what are your kind of thoughts on a season 2?
On Singular Point, honestly, had a love-hate relationship with it. I love the kaiju action, and I love the music in it. The story was just a drag to follow. A lot better in English, I will say that, because watching Japanese,
I can't imagine trying to watch this with subtitles. My brain would probably melt after about 3 episodes.
Am I the only one who's seen it through with subtitles?
No, I saw it all the way through.
I was gonna, yeah, okay. I was
gonna say it was difficult, but I watched it when it was airing. In each individual episode was airing.
The dub. Yeah. I will say that I didn't have a problem following it in Japanese, but the dub does help.
Oh, it helps.
The dub is definitely.
And it's actually a good dub too.
It's a really solid dub.
It is a solid dub. It really is.
Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch is in it.
You would say that it took the dub?
I wouldn't say that.
There we go.
And with that being said, as far as season 2 goes, I'm excited for season 2 because I feel like they're all going to kind of reward us for kind of getting through season 1 with so little kaiju action. I think it's going to be a lot more kaiju action, and the reason why I'm okay with them taking as long as they are to make it is because we've seen Godzilla movies come out back to back to back, and yeah, you know the results of that. We said Destroy All Monsters and then Godzilla's Revenge. Like, do I need to explain more?
Well, I mean, I feel like the better argument is King of the Monsters GVK. Like, I mean, it doesn't get worse.
Fair.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Adam
Okay.
Lingard's
Now who's the
worst.
broken record? But anyway,
I waited 40 minutes to say mine, Nathan.
Oh, sure.
I went
But
40
no,
minutes
the-
before
I
finally
think-
doing it.
I think one of the advantages that a season 2 will have is we won't have to go through all of the build up for Godzilla again, most likely.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
You might. So at the end of Singular Point, Godzilla does disappear, and there's still a ton of questions, and there's Mecha Godzilla. So there's still, I feel like there still could be at least half of a season if they do like 12 full episodes again. At least half of a season building up off of what they had to do. Maybe the show that we're wanting with the more kaiju action.
Yeah. I mean, we do
At
need
least-
answers, so that's fair.
Like, what did is it Penlope or is it Danny? You would remember the animated character, his name.
Which one are we talking about? The
Pen?
No, not Pen. That's Evangelion.
Pyro/Pelops.
Yeah.
Robot? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Pyro
Pyro
2. Yeah,
two.
Pyro
Pyro
2.
Pyro 2. That character created so many more questions for us than answers towards the end there, especially. So I mean, I would just love to see the world building, like where they're going with this, because this is, I think, honestly the first time we've had a Godzilla property that is developing such a unique and interesting world that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and let's not forget the teaser at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
That was money right there.
I want to know what the heck they're doing, because Ashihara is clearly up to something. When season 1 came out, I saw some speculation that somehow Ashihara and Jun might be the same person.
Yes, I heard that. Yep.
And I think that if that's possible, that would be fascinating if that were the case. That would be, whew. So I want to know if that's even feasible. I want to know. I don't know. I just rewatched Singular Point actually about a week or so ago, the whole way through in a night. I just had it on, and I've seen it through multiple times. I just adore that show so much, and I hear something new or make a different connection every time. I love it. So I'm hugely on board for season 2. I don't know what they would do. How do you get Godzilla back? Does he come back? Is it the same one? Is it another one? He done sploded. Spoiler. So what are you gonna do? How does that work? More time travel shenanigans? I mean, they already had this catastrophe. Where do you go after you avert the catastrophe? Clearly they have something cooking, because that Mechagodzilla he's up to something. There's something going on there, and there was very clearly an intent for something. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that, because maybe it was just a tease and they didn't have an idea, but I believe fully that they have an idea for more stories, and I think that's been said somewhere else that they do want to continue it. So
yeah, absolutely,
there is an intent. So I'll just go ahead and lock in, yes, there was an intention there, and I want to see it. The one wild card in all of this is Netflix.
Yep.
The cancel kings at Netflix.
But all they do is distribute it. They're not a production company.
Yeah,
no,
they're not producing.
But if they tell Toho, we're not doing a season, because Netflix also.
If they tell
true,
Toho
but,
no-ho?
But yes. But if Netflix Netflix also does take 17. Netflix also supplies a little bit of funding for marketing and such. They're not just distributors for some shows. For this one, I don't think so. This was all footed by, because it was not produced with Netflix as a Netflix original. It aired on Japanese TV first, and then Netflix picked it up and distributed it here. So if they tell, that's the good news, is if they tell Toho to pound sand, no, we're not going to do this, then they can take it to a different distributor, and they can have Singular 2. Crunchyroll's a good one. Honestly, I feel like that would probably be it, and they could go to like
Funimation,
Hulu,
Funimation.
Funimation folded into.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Sony became the monopoly of anime.
I can't keep up with how many people are buying other companies right now. It's out of control. But there's hope. There's absolutely hope. It's on my list right next to Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance season 2. I'm hoping somebody picks that up. That's the only other thing on Netflix I care about is Dark Crystal.
Yeah, it's not unheard of.
Hang on, before you're about to say One Punch Man, but before you talk about One Punch Man, I do have to say hello to Rob Buck. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
Good to see you. It seems as though Rob is introducing his wife to Ultraman Blazar. Good man, Rob, for doing that. Also, Giant Monster. A word.
Giant Monster Dragon Dagger.
That's our friend Grattan at Giant Monster BS, the Giant Monster BS podcast. Hello, Grattan. How are you? Also, I do want to mention, Brendan, we will try to get you on next week, if that's okay. We'll try to get you on next week. I know you're wanting to pop in, but we'll try to get you on next week, if that's okay, buddy. Nathan, finish your thought. And
all I was going to say is that the idea of seasons of a show being split up between multiple streaming services and unheard of. The first season of One Punch Man is on Netflix. That's where I saw it.
I'll
But
say
the
it.
second
Giant
season-
monster. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I promised
Yeah.
Michael I'd be good.
But the second season is exclusive to Hulu. That's all I was going to mention.
Eric, you haven't talked a whole lot about Singular Point. What's your thoughts?
I love Singular Point. Like it's a great show. I don't understand why it gets a lot of hate like it does. I understand the mumble jumble, the
Mhm.
technological crap,
Mm-hmm.
but you can understand it enough to enjoy it. And honestly, then it's they talk about there's not enough kaiju action. Honestly, in every single episode, there's kaiju action.
Yep.
And it's enough. It's enough to keep you engaged, and it did for me. And like I said, I love the soundtrack. It's just amazing. The whole story, it kept me intrigued, and like I said, even that spoiler at the very end, like, made me want a second season. So if they're kind of teasing that there might be, on the horizon, I would love for it. I will clamor for it. I will watch it. I don't care. But I just hope that they do.
Me too.
I have a feeling I know what topic either Nathan or Elijah or Danny is going to pick. So I'm just going to mention really quickly. The Gorgo 4K is gorgeous. I watched it yesterday after I got this in the mail. It is a beautiful transfer. I have not been able to watch the special features yet. And I will be doing a video on this for our YouTube channel later. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous transfer.
I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a limited run?
No, there's a slip cover that's limited.
Okay.
But everything else is going to be available.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about too, about O covers. The O, they just kind of slide out like this. So they're book style. So if anyone was curious, that's just what we were talking about. But this is a gorgeous transfer. And that's
Mine
all I'll
comes
say
in
about it.
Monday.
Gorgeous Gorgo.
Same.
Gorgeous
I think mine's
Gorgo.
coming-
Even though
Mine's
I
coming
ordered
tomorrow,
it before, Michael.
Yeah, I
think
did too. What the heck, Vinegar Syndrome? Explain your.
Well, they're
I guess
they're
they
based
could
at,
ship faster to the non-existent state of West Virginia.
That's
on the-
pretty mean. That's mean.
That is pretty mean. That is pretty mean.
You just offended like a
Um,
dozen people. It's so mean.
You mean
Oh,
11 people, Danny?
Nah, I'm sorry.
11 people. Yes, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
because there's one person who won't be offended from
Yes,
West Virginia.
I know. So who wants to pick a topic now from the list? I have a feeling I know what Elijah's going to pick, but because it's like
I can go
it's like
next.
go ahead, Adrian. Go for it.
So actually, what I'm gonna pick is the hotels being available for G-Fest.
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to pick this because I just want to put a warning out there: don't be like me. Don't wait till last minute to get your hotel at G-Fest.
Listen to
Yeah.
Eric, Adrian. Listen to Eric.
Yes, everybody, listen to Eric. Since he had to
Listen
be
to
right.
Eric about what? What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, guys?
We won't get into it here, but Eric was right. Eric was right, but definitely, if you can, definitely book your hotel for G-Fest. You don't have to pay for the tickets now, and I'm letting you know it's better to be there in the hotel where the convention is versus walking around back and forth from your hotel to the Hyatt with all the thousands of dollars you spend at G-Fest.
It's almost like you're talking from experience, Adrian.
I am talking from
Actually, that
So-
reminds me. Were they doing the shuttle service between the Hyatt and the Overflow Hotel this year?
Not
don't think so.
Not that I heard.
No?
Not that I heard. No.
I don't think so. So, by a show of hands, and then we'll make it very clear for the audio people, who has already got tickets?
Tickets or room?
Rooms, whatever.
We're
It's
talking
the
about
same
rooms.
thing.
That's all of us.
Same thing.
All of us. Is that
Okay,
the
all
hands
of
up?
us.
Not
Wait,
Joe.
All of us
Joe?
except
Joe,
for Joe.
no.
Joe's not
Joe?
going to G Fest next year, guys.
Oh.
We
Yeah,
will be in Rome and then Athens and then followed by a 6-week tour of Japan. So
Well, dang, dude!
Oh.
If you ever had a good excuse to miss G-Fest, holy cow!
Yeah. we're gonna-
Is Beast from the East going to be there next year in the vendor hall?
Frank will, yeah, but
Okay.
I will not. Yeah, we're leaving May 1st and coming back August 28th.
Wow.
Oh, Michael, look in the chat.
This is news.
Oh, shut up, Frank!
I love it.
Well, I was
Breaking
kidding.
news.
I guess I was kidding, and my buddy Frank ratted me out. Yes, we will be there. If I may do a quick shout out to that's Frank
Sure.
of Beast of the East. He is the
Absolutely.
owner of the company. I just help run it, and he's the evil mastermind. He's the evil Vince McMahon behind it all. I'm the Triple H. I'm the more well-liked one.
Yeah, you've got the
He's the one
Triple
that
H
has, like,
beard
the
now.
sexual scandal. We're trying to force him to retire, and Beast of the East. He's a great guy, and we offer great prices. Everybody here can attest to it. I'm not going to.
Yeah, one of my
Absolutely.
favorite vendors at G Fest.
But
was the-
I might miss G Fest for Rome and Italy and Japan. I might do that.
Yeah.
I might actually do that too. Like that sounds like a beautiful.
Like, dang, is this a surprise?
Uh-oh. With a cameo by the wife.
You want to come in, then? My wife was like, "Damn, I was excited. She thought I was surprising her with a second honeymoon." But
All the
I
money-
told you I need more Godzilla stuff. No more vacation.
Oh, okay. So
Go ahead.
Kim can confirm that last year she stayed at the DoubleTree and had to walk all weekend. Staying at the Hyatt is much easier. Yes, and I don't think I saw a shuttle bus come one time when I was there.
I
don't
guess
think I
they've
saw it.
discontinued that. I think they still had an official overflow hotel. I think
They have a few.
They have
The
a few,
Crown's
yeah.
one. Comfort Inn, I think, is another
The
one.
DoubleTree,
Tree,
Yeah.
the Crown.
the
But yeah,
Best,
I
Best
just wanted
Western
to.
or something like that is too.
I just
But
wanted
that
to
one's
say-
far. There's one that's an overflow that's like 15 minutes away. So don't book
Yeah.
that one.
Don't.
Yeah,
wait.
definitely don't do that one.
Yeah,
Like
no.
staying at the Hyatt this year was a luxury because you just could get up and go downstairs and there you
Oh,
are.
wait. Hold on. So who in the group chat said to go to the Hyatt, Michael? Who was it? Who was it?
It was actually Danny. Danny.
No, Danny
Actually,
wasn't even in the group chat.
Actually, it was Danny's mom that told me.
Danny, you don't even talk. Wait, Danny,
What? Dragging
you
me
might,
into
need,
this?
you might need to find out why Michael's talking to your mom.
I don't even know what Michael's talking about.
you're gonna have to call Michael Daddy.
Wow, way to make it awkward, Nathan. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. God, have mercy.
Compared to some of the things I've heard
Ah!
you say.
That's what I have to
So
say.
before we move on, we got to say hello to Wet Jeffrey. Hi, Wet Jeffrey.
There's
Why
who?
is he
Okay.
wet?
Hi,
It would
Wendy.
stop.
Wet Jeffrey,
Who?
thank you for gracing us with your moistness, good sir.
I don't want to know why you ended up wet. So
Do I?
Maybe he's always been wet, Michael.
maybe.
Come on.
Maybe he loves super soakers.
He likes water balloon fights. That's like
Hello in Conway.
Same thing with G Fest makes you want to trip from. I drive from Ohio every year to G Fest. I drive from Ohio 4.5 to 5 hours, depending on traffic, every year for G Fest, and I
G-Fest
can
is 7 hours for me.
I can fully attest, having made the drive, whether I was in the car as a passenger since I've been going since I was a kid, all the way up to now, where I've been driving it myself for years. This year was my 12th G Fest. I can assure you, it's worth the drive. 100% worth the drive.
I was just gonna say, like, it's not all about like buying things. It's about the camaraderie with everybody and seeing people and meeting people and just hanging with your friends. Like, that's the best part of the whole weekend, is just hanging out and talking the stuff that you guys love. Like, that buying stuff, that's just a bonus. That's extra.
It's a very small thing.
That
it's
is,
a very,
it is.
yeah. There's
it's a very small thing.
a perception amongst people who've never been to G Fest that you go, you buy things, and you leave. You go, you buy things, you get autographs, and then you split town. That it's there, and it's a great part. But I don't go to G Fest to load up on toys. I don't go to G Fest to do all that stuff. I go because, when I first started going, when I was young, I went for the academics because I loved listening to people talk, and I wanted to meet the actors and all that stuff. And the toys were a wonderful icing on the cake. And now, all these years later, by some miracle, I've been able to accumulate a group of people who know me and think I'm cool for some reason. And I go see. Thank you. I don't know. Thanks, Steve. But
He looks like a Steve.
I go because here's the thing about G Fest. When like the other 360 some odd days of the year in my Ohio home, I don't talk to a single person face to face who knows or cares what the heck Godzilla is. I don't.
Mhm.
And so I go to G Fest, and even if I didn't have wonderful friends and human beings that I got to see every time I go to G Fest now, I'd still go just to have a conversation with a person face to face about this stuff. That's what I did when I was younger as a kid. The first time I ever in my life talked to a Godzilla fan eye to eye, face to face, was at G Fest when I was a teenager.
Mhm.
And there's a long time in my life before that happened. And that to me, and the fact that I've been able to build that up, and now I get to see my wonderful friends every year in person, that is far more valuable to me than any toy could ever be. And that alone is worth getting in the car for 5 hours and trucking from Ohio to Illinois.
I took a 17-hour train ride.
No, you've got me beat. Like for 5 hour drive is nothing compared to Elijah.
You saw that
Blow
too,
it up.
Myra?
Blow it up, Michael. Blow it up.
Pull up
What is it?
Leslie's comment.
Oh, I didn't read it.
I don't know if we can.
Leslie, G-Fest is absolutely phenomenal, despite clueless folks walking around with stupid wrestling championship belts to tout how awesome they are.
Leslie.
Oh my God. Love you, Leslie. Love you.
Leslie.
Glad you're here.
We love you, Leslie. Thank you, Leslie, for popping in. I may or may not be pushing for that to be an official item on the scavenger hunt next year.
I think it should be.
I think it should be.
Wrestling belts?
Yes.
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 Aren't
yes.
championship belts earned, not awarded to
That's
yourself?
what I thought. That's what I thought. Apparently,
Well,
you
if
just wear them.
you're calling yourself the Triple H of this crew, then you technically were awarded the World Heavyweight Championship back in 2002. So,
Okay, first off, it was 2003. And
okay.
Well, actually.
Be careful. Michael doesn't like being told he's wrong or that somebody else was right.
well, actually, I have
know.
actually, I have no idea what year it was, but
I know.
I was gonna
A
say, do
Google
you
search
really
will
know?
be able to solve this.
Anyway, so before we move on, we're getting off the rails. Hello, Oscar. Oscar. We all love Oscar. Hello, Oscar. So from my perspective, the only other thing worth talking about on this list is the new producer for Godzilla -1. So
How
who
dare
wants
you
to
say
who
only
wants to,
one?
who wants to kick us off? Who wants to kick us off with the discussion? Whatever.
agree.
I do because I'm the one that
I'd
found
say
this.
Elijah.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
First of all, this is the first crew.
I thought he was more like the Eugene, but whatever.
All right, I give him maybe Hornswoggle.
Oh my god.
Or like the hand that Mae Young gave birth to.
Can we move on?
Let's talk about Godzilla.
Does anyone? I got one more.
Elijah.
Does anyone remember Choppy Choppy Your PP?
Oh, is that Tajiri?
That was when they chopped off Val Venus's penis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Guys, the squeaky
Okay.
hammer is out. I'm laying down the law on the squeaky hammer.
So
Travis is gonna call it.
I'm waiting for the text. I'm waiting. I'm looking.
I'm waiting.
Tell us,
I
about,
have
The
no
angry
thoughts.
comments are a coming.
tell us about that singular point thing.
All right,
Mr.
go
Elijah.
ahead.
Also-
Elijah. Tell us about it.
No,
The
minus
minus
one. I thought it
one.
was
Minus
minus
one.
one.
Oh,
The
sorry, I
minus one
misspoke.
thing.
I've been thinking.
By the way,
singular point.
this is going to be somebody else's because this is not what I was going to pick because there's something cooler than this.
Well, I picked this one. Go ahead and start.
Okay. So this is actually the first bit of news for a cast or crew this movie has had, period. And we have a trailer, we have a release date, we have a US release date, we have posters. There's no cast, there's no crew, there's no composer, nothing. This is our first bit of crew for this film. So Kazuki Kishida is a Toho producer. He works at Toho. He worked on Ghost Book, which was Yamazaki's film before Godzilla Minus One. That was the film that everybody was like, following this movie, he's probably going to do a Godzilla movie. This is where we're at. And he's worked on a ton of other Godzilla Minus One, not Godzilla Minus One, a ton of Yamazaki films. Sorry, I just got sent something that we were talking about earlier that just made me a little more excited, but I can't talk about it. There's just a little hint for you. It news in air quotes. In air quotes.
Oh, I said
SP.
nudes.
Oh, no. This is just something that we talked about that, I can't talk about, but we talked about it.
Danny.
I now understand why he lost a couple of eyes. I think we broke him.
Now,
I put his eye back on, Slick.
Yay!
I fixed him.
Anyway, continue, Elijah. I know we're running up on time a little bit on this section.
so
Go ahead.
one interesting thing is this producer is not the one. I'm fact checking myself here. Yeah, no, he's not the one that produced Shin Godzilla. So right now, the guy who kind of is the head of the Godzilla production committee stuff is not confirmed for this film. And Danny, you and I were talking a few months ago about how if you look at the history of Godzilla, there's only 3 producers.
That's about it.
You have Tanaka and Toyama, and then you had
what was the guy who did the Millennium series?
That's Tomiyama.
Tomiyama. Is
Toriyama,
it Udia?
okay.
Is it Udia that runs the Godzilla production committee?
I believe so. I'm having a bit of a brain fart on that, but I think that's right.
But you've only had 3 producers, 3 like main producers. So right now, it's looking like we're having a brand new producer. Like that's pretty big. It's unfortunate that the last producer only ended with 4 movies. But no, this would be pretty big in just terms of history for Godzilla. That'd be the shortest time a producer's been attached to the Godzilla franchise and the quickest turnover of a new one because, Godzilla had been around for 44 years before Toyama came in with 2000. So 44. 43, 44? Something like that. 44.
One of those.
45?
One of those.
46.
Well,
47.
Because Tomiyama technically came on board for Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, and Tanaka was bumped to executive role because he was very ill at the time, and so he took a more hands-off approach for the 90s films and was kept on board to kind of steer the ship. But Tomiyama had been the producer since 1991 all the way up through the Millennium era. So he had a heck of a list of films under his belt by the time he was done. It would have been 11 films. Yeah, 11 films total. But in terms of movies that did not involve Tanaka at all, 6.
But I mean, even then, that's still like he was the next producer. So just the fact that is, we might have a brand new producer is pretty exciting. That being said, I fully expect we're still Yamazaki's a producer. He's for Robot Communications. He's going to be their representative. Toho's going to have a rep. And then there's probably going to be 1 or 2 more producers attached to this film. The Godzilla Production Committee producer still definitely could be attached to this film. I will be very shocked if he isn't. But that being said, I mean, this is, the fact that we're having the producer of all the past Yamazaki films return is a good sign. I actually just, for my podcast, we're going to be doing Returner soon. And
Returner.
Nice.
And
I like that one.
if you look at the crew for that film, they basically have been following Yamazaki since 2001 with Juvenile. 2002? I think it's 2002. So yeah, no, it's pretty exciting if Yamazaki's basically, carrying his crew that has been with him and Robot and Shirogumi and Toho, because Yamazaki's almost exclusively worked for Toho for now 20 something years. So
that's exciting.
Nathan, did you have something you wanted to discuss before we needed to?
Yeah, just briefly.
Sure.
Should be noted that we have some more RS news on here with covers and things like that. But I just wanted to highlight that I'm looking forward to them releasing Midnight the Era, which is going to be an independent kaiju anime film.
Tokusatsu anime.
Tokusatsu anime. Oh yeah. So it's going to be a melding of the two. Which the only other time I could think of where that happened was the
Attack of the Super
Remind me what
Monsters.
the Japanese title was, Danny.
Dinosaur War Eisenborg.
Dinosaur Eisenborg. Yeah. So
Born Free also did it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Those. So it's very rare that these two get mixed, and I will be curious to see how they go about it as both a Toku and an anime fan. And
I mean,
it's hard to come by kaiju in anime.
It looks pretty. So, to my understanding, it's going to be pretty. Like, it's going to look really good. It's going to kind of have a darker tone to it. The BTS that they've been showing looks pretty good. It's all CG. So the only thing in it that's going to be Toku is the suit for the kaiju. Everything else is going to be animated. But it's pretty cool because it's an entire reversal of what Eisenborg did. Because in that duology of shows that did that, everything was Toku and the humans were animated. This time it's everything's animated except for the kaiju that are Toku.
Yeah, and is it this one or am I thinking of another? I remember seeing a trailer for another independent feature like this, but it had an ultra hero or an ultra hero style character.
That is the one that was developed by that school learning
right
effects.
Okay.
Danny,
yeah,
what's the title?
I'm sitting
I
here.
Don't remember. I'm blanking
trying
on
to
it.
remember. Matt Frank worked on designing the characters for that. And my gosh, the name of this thing is slipping my.
I can't remember,
mind.
but that's immaterial right now.
I'll remember.
Yeah,
I'll look
it's
it up.
immaterial. I'm just looking forward to it, and they're doing this too, as was mentioned, to drum up some more attention for their Kickstarter.
Right.
Akari.
That's right.
Akari, thank you.
That's what
That
it
was
was.
it.
Anyway,
Danny.
I'm gonna. Gosh, ever so briefly, there are a lot of good things on here, but since I was just recently talking about it, and I was in the theater and saw the trailer again for like the 40th time, I have to throw a little bit of love to the Meg 2. Because that's like the weird choice for me.
Do you want to throw out the quote in that interview with Ben Wheatley, because it's in there in the doc?
Let me click it real quick. Because I really did like this. I want to make sure I get this right. So Ben Wheatley's the director of the Meg 2, and just from watching what now?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just confirming. Yes, sure.
No, yeah.
And
just from watching the trailer for the Meg 2, you can tell this dude is a fan of creature features. It's got sharks jumping out of the water and Kraken sinking boats while Jason Statham
eating dinosaurs
while Jason Statham is on a jet ski while Barracuda's playing. It's magnificent nonsense, and I love it. It just looks like the most fun, ridiculous thing. And he actually just recently did an interview, and I'm going to quote him here, where he says, "I would love to direct a Godzilla movie. I'm a huge fan of monster movies. Meg 2 is my version of a kaiju movie." There you go. That's pretty cool. I mean, I guess jury's out until I see the movie on whether I, like what I think about that. But
I mean, given what we're seeing of the Meg 2, he might fit in with the MonsterVerse
Now,
at this point.
here's one thing that he has connected to the MonsterVerse.
this I'm curious about.
Besides the fact that
Yeah.
Warner's distributing it, Adam Wingard and Ben Wheatley both worked on ABCs of Death together.
Oh,
So
okay. Didn't know that. That's interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Okay. Super
also,
cool.
he directed 2 episodes of Doctor Who. Nathan, you might be interested.
really?
To go back. Yep, in the 2000, like mid 2000s, he did 2 episodes.
Which ones?
I would have to like.
Oh, well,
search
I'll
it
look it
real
up.
quick.
What's the guy's name? What's the guy's
Ben
name?
Wheatley. Ben Wheatley. And then, other than
Wheatley.
that, he also did a sci-fi psychological horror movie in 2021 called In the Earth, which sounds really cool.
I've not
Sounds
seen
kind of exciting, kind of crazy, kind of creepy.
Yeah, but the Meg looks amazing. It looks like fun. I don't know. It's going to be just pure popcorn nonsense, and sometimes the world needs a little bit of pure popcorn nonsense. And
And
sharks-
that's what Godzilla versus Kong was. It was popcorn nonsense.
you need
It
a
was
little bit of
it was hot garbage.
a little bit of popcorn.
Nope.
Nonsense.
Scratch it off your bingo card.
I already did. He's like the 3rd time.
Second.
No, I'm messing with him. So that's about it. Just the Meg 2 looks like incredible, just silly fun, and that's the kind of thing I'll pay some dough to go see in the theater. And yeah,
Okay.
I'm big sharks. Like me a shark movie.
Eric, did you pick one?
It's already taken. Done.
We're gonna
Pick another one.
We got to move on for time, though.
It's
Elijah.
it's
And-
fine.
We got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes.
Well, we need to move on because the whole reason why I got Adrian, Joe,
Oh,
and
that's
Eric
right.
here in the
Mhm.
first place is we had a little something happen over the weekend. In our
Can,
toys and
can the rest of us just take a break while you guys do an impromptu Monsters with Attitude?
yeah,
episode
if you
in the
want
middle
to,
of
if you
this?
want to, yeah, if you want to go. I'm not going to stop you. But no, but seriously, like one of the reasons why I asked Adrian, Eric, and Joe, I know Joe had to step away for a second, to be on the stream, is we're going to talk about all the things happening at Wonderfest. So let me just go ahead and pull up my little slideshow here because there is a lot of stuff to cover. There's a lot of stuff to cover. So, Eric, while I'm getting this set up, give the kind folks at home that is not sure what Wonderfest is. What is Wonderfest?
Well, basically, it is the biggest convention gathering that happens in Japan. It happens twice a year, summer and winter. So it's February and obviously end of July here. And it's just the biggest gathering of model kit builders to statues to X Plus vinyl to soft vinyl, softfubi. I mean, you name it. Everybody is there. It's in the biggest convention center in Japan and stuff like that. And it's just everybody talks about it. Everybody wants to go to it. Everybody is there that can be there. It's just the greatest gathering of like collectibles you could ever see in one place, honestly. And it's amazing. And luckily, there was a couple people in several of the groups were able to go. We're able to post pictures and stuff like that because us here, we're always just waiting for the time till the pictures start, sneaking into the groups and stuff like that, so we can see first glimpses of everything and stuff. And it's just really fun. It's like Christmas for collectors.
I do want to give 2 shout outs to people within the community, Gonzalo and Nick Sides, because those 2 guys were giving us all the great pictures from yesterday and some today. So I shout out to those 2 guys because I borrowed their photos for this particular stream. And the reason why I have this particular statue queued up, I don't even know who the maker of this thing is, Eric, but
Museum.
This kind of illustrates the type of stuff that you see at Wonderfest. these very like conceptual statues and model kits. Some of them are even one-offs. Like the only time you're going to ever see some of this stuff is at Wonderfest because it's a day license and that's it. There's only one of them made. Like that kind of stuff does happen at Wonderfest. But like I wanted to show this picture because it kind of, like I said, it illustrates like the type of crazy stuff that we get to see at Wonderfest. And like for the viewers listening to the audio version of this later, what we're looking at currently is a model kit of the moment where Monster X transforms into Kaiser Ghidorah.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous.
It's so good.
I love it.
It's so good. And I hi Baragon, what is up? I have to so here's a random question to interject here. Am I the only person in the stream who's been to a Wonderfest in person?
I have been to the one in Kentucky one time.
Okay.
I've never been to the one in Japan. Danny,
Yeah.
what is it? So that's actually that I'm glad that you're here because you can actually talk about what it's like to go to Wonderfest.
Guys.
Yeah, right there. That explains everything.
This is I don't
guys.
think I could explain it better than this picture could. So first of all, the convention center is huge. I wandered 4 football field sized rooms. It's basically like a military hangar or series of them.
Yeah.
Just stacked, filled with everything you could imagine: model kits, toys, prop replicas. The Kokabunji Studios guys were there the year I was there. They're the ones who made that Mosagoji replica suit and the Ghidorah puppet heads.
Yes.
If anybody out there has seen Kyle Yount's Hail to the King documentary, you've seen those in action. They made a big splash. I can't believe that was like 7 or 8 years ago. Those guys were making a big splash. They still do stuff, but those were there. That was really surreal to see in person. But things like this were just everywhere. It was everywhere. The people there could not be kinder. They have one day there to sell their stuff, and that's it. Eric and Adrian, when I was on the Monsters with Attitude stream where we were talking about Toho like military weaponry and the mechs, and I busted out the giant Mighty Jack. That Samson still likes to talk about how cool that Mighty Jack is. He loves that thing, man. I got that at Wonderfest.
Speaking of Samson, hello Leslie. Hello Leslie.
Oh no! Wow. Listeners, you'll just have to imagine how colorful this is.
It's a very colorful comment from Leslie P. Chambers,
which is so unlike him, really.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no. This is very out of character for Leslie.
Yeah.
Right now. Like
out
this
of
is
character
totally
because
out of
it's
character.
tame. There you go. But yeah, I guess just to wrap up, I don't want to take up. I really did. I didn't want to be like I went to Wonderfest. Like it's. But it really was life changing. It was like an amazing. If you're a collector, standing in that space is amazing. Not because necessarily I was there to spend a bunch of money. I did spend money, but I was there. Like being in that room, there's just so much creativity in that room.
Yeah.
And because the artists are there, man. I mean, they're there. They're behind the counter. They are. You know, even just to look at some of these things and tell people how wonderful their work is, that's amazing to me. But just imagine a room full of this stuff. And then also the like exclusive reveals and special, like all kinds of special stuff. When I was there, I got to see the Shin Godzilla production maquette. The kind of like almost like straw colored tan one. They've made a couple of figures that are inspired by that production maquette. I got to see that in person. That was surreal. The Evangelion Godzilla crossover artwork was that Yuji Kaida? No, it was not Yuji Kaida. It was someone else. I'm struggling with the name off the top of my head, but you know that piece from 2016 where Eva Unit 1 and Shin Godzilla are squaring off and then their heads are in the background. The actual original painting for that was there. So, yeah, like not just a print, the actual painting was there. So that was really, really surreal. And the variety of things, like I left with original model kits. I left with just a couple of cheap Bondi's, things that would cost $30 or $40 at G-Fest. I got for like $7 new with tag. So there's just a lot there. And it's worth it just to be in that kind of a creative space. And you will never be in a bigger room full of more toys ever.
Right.
I don't care what your fandom is. I don't think this might be the biggest.
Right. So speaking of special reveals, we do have they did show off a few things last night at Wonderfest that we will be able to buy later. So the first one, and I don't know if Travis is watching. Travis, if you're watching, this is for you. It appears that X Plus is going to be giving us a favorite sculptors line 30 centimeter Showa Baragon. And look how adorable. Look how stinking cute this is.
Okay, that's a nice one.
He's good.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Look how stinking cute this is. So, Eric, Adrian, Joe, whoever wants to speak up first. So are you guys going to be getting? I know I'll be getting this. I'll be pre-ordering this. Hopefully,
absolutely, I will be getting this. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
I'll probably be getting this because I think Frankenstein's coming right behind it.
I hope so. Oh, that actually makes
That's
sense.
bold.
Okay.
Bold move.
So, Eric, what model kit did we say this was last night? I can't remember.
This is from Inu Arts.
So did Inu Arts do a Frankenstein?
Oh boy, let me check.
I know Leslie.
I can check too.
I don't think they did,
find out.
because if this is the one that I saw Del Toro retweeting, he asked if they would do a Frankenstein to go with it eventually.
He's been in a kaiju mood lately.
Yes,
Toro.
Del Toro's been freaking out about Wonderfest.
Well, while they're looking for it, I will just say I love it. I can't wait to get this. I'm a huge Baragon fan. Baragon is one of my favorites for sure.
I love Showa. I love Showa Baragon. As much as I love GMK Baragon, I do have a soft spot for Showa Baragon, specifically for Frankenstein Conquers the World, which is one of my favorite non-Godzilla Toho films. I will be pre-ordering this as soon as it drops, and since we're getting a painted prototype or a painted version, I'm imagining that pre-orders will hit sooner rather than later. I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So next, this little guy, this little guy, hearts were aflutter, to say the least, yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So X Plus will be releasing the Godzilla Tower within their Toho Maniacs line of figures. And let me grab one just really quickly, just to kind of give a reference here.
I feel like this little guy kind of stole the show.
He did.
Yeah,
kind of.
absolutely.
Yeah, kind of. Like, so right now I'm holding the Toho Maniacs controller. Yes, this is the controller. You can't tell me no different. This is the controller.
Well, actually,
hush, Joe. So this is the Toho Maniacs Exilian figure that came out last year, and it's about a 6 to 7 inch scale figure. And I'm imagining that this Godzilla Tower will be about this big. Maybe I would imagine this would be slightly bigger, but not by much, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I know.
I would say
too. He's a little guy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say maybe slightly just because of that balloon is sticking up, just above his head. But yeah, I would say the 6 inch line kind of thing is where he's going to be.
Now, you guys have to admit it is disappointing that we are not getting a 25 centimeter or a 30 centimeter Godzilla Tower.
Of course.
I really wish that was the case, but the fact that we're getting any Godzilla Tower representation, period, I feel like is a small miracle. Like, this is something that people have been asking for years at this point. And the fact that we're finally getting it is really awesome. Joe, are you going to be picking this little guy up whenever it comes?
100%. Like I was saying, I feel like this little guy stole the show. I think I've seen more people excited over this reveal than anything else people were seeing at the whole show. So yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for it. Definitely wish it was, even a 40 centimeter would be awesome. 20
Oh,
centimeter,
absolutely.
anything. But yeah, even though he's tiny, I will be getting him.
Now, I know why the balloon is here, but I feel like I just don't know if I like the balloon being there.
Buy 2 of them, cut the balloon off of one of them.
Exactly.
Just a little X-Acto knife and a steady hand, my friend.
Oh, you're right. Anyone
I
else
like the balloon. It's part of the. You can imagine the characters are in there, and they're going to start.
It's part of the
sliding down.
lore, right? It's part of the film.
Yeah, that
Go
is
ahead,
a real. I gotta say that's really nice. Sorry, I was fielding a phone call there for a minute, but yeah, that looks really nice.
No, you're fine. I'm hoping. I think Eric, you and Joe and I were talking about this last night. I'm really hoping that this is not gonna. They're not gonna pull some bull crap like they did with the Exilian and be like a Japan only release or a Japan only exclusive.
I would be upset.
Part of me thinks that they're going to be moving away from that. With the like the Godzilla store getting a.
That's true. Yeah.
American side. You know what I mean? Like
that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But that's just what I see. Maybe not right away. Maybe there'll still be some Japan only exclusives or whatever. But I would say in the long run, I would be shocked if because you're cutting your market in half. Well, probably even more than in half.
Oh yeah, more.
So. Right.
And it is worth mentioning, too, that in the background of this image, you can see that they are planning on doing a Toho Maniacs Gotengo as well. Which I don't have any Gotengos. I saw some Sofubi Gotengos at G-Fest that I regret not getting. But
most of them are just expensive. It's an expensive
Showa, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only Gotengo I have is the Revoltech Gotengo, and it's really pretty excellent considering it's just a little thing. It's just a little guy, and it's great. But most of them, you know what? That's a lie. I have a plastic Gotengo model kit, but I mean that was like maybe $50. The Gotengo Revoltech was maybe 40 when I got it, and after that, like Gotengo's like the Sofabis, and then like the really big mechanical ones you can get. Those things are just obscenely expensive. So an affordable vinyl style. This opens up could you imagine all the vehicles they could do?
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine? I would love it if they did. Like I want to see like the Alpha from Latitude Zero. I want to see SY3.
SY3.
I got the Iwakura SY3 at G-Fest this year, but it's like 2 inches long. It's cool, but 3 inches. It's not giant. It's really detailed for what it is, but
size doesn't matter. Size doesn't.
Godzilla.
Size doesn't matter.
Godzilla 98 tells us otherwise.
Well, size doesn't matter. It's how you use it, Danny. You know this. Come on.
Well, and the Meg would beg to the Meg 2 would beg to differ as well.
I just wanted to talk about this toy. I didn't want to make it a naughty thing. That's all I wanted.
Well, what did you expect from Michael?
Well, when I heard myself say it's only 3 inches, I knew I was setting myself up for. Anyway.
Well, Nathan can only take 2 inches from what we know. What are we? What is going on? This is a cool toy. There you go. 2 inches of pizza, people.
That doesn't make it any less weird, sir.
It actually does not. This is true.
We're not. We don't kink shame, but this is not the stream for it.
Moving swiftly along. If any of you were gonna pick, just because we're talking, this thing is so cool. If any of you guys were gonna pick like another vehicle to add to this line, what would be like a cool, like a dream vehicle to add? Obviously, Gotengo's coming. What think
any of the Super X's?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
X's.
I don't have it. I don't have it in the slideshow, but we did see that Zoe Models is doing a Super X2 or Super X3. Super X3.
Okay. Super X3.
Okay. Or no. That's not Zoe. That's
Oh, Black Dragon.
Black Dragon.
Black Dragon. Yeah, Black
Oh,
Dragon.
yeah, which makes sense because they're releasing the inevitable Burning Godzilla to go with the Destroyer.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
out
know-
of scale, but
I'm going to speak for Nate here and say that you would like a Go-10 from War and
Yes.
Space. Clearly, I'm going to go.
A Gotengo would be cool too, but yeah, a Goten.
Well,
would be
Gotengo's
fun.
locked in, so they got to
Yeah.
do Go. They got to do the Go-10.
I would like a Gotengo because apparently that's the only way I'm going to get anywhere close to Atragon. But you know,
Wow, scratch that off. That joke is almost as old as me at this point.
Callbacks, the stream.
Callbacks the stream.
I'm gonna
Okay, we got-
go weird. I'm gonna say I want them to do Smokey and the Mighty Lioner from Zone Fighter. You know what? Zone
Oh,
Fighter. Just make
yes.
Zone Fighter. Just do
Yeah,
a
just
Zone
make
Yes.
Zone Fighters.
Do-
Good
Zone
God.
Can we
Big
just
Zone
get,
Fighter.
can we just get Zone Fighter released? That's all.
Please, can
yeah.
we Zone Fighter, please? Toho, they have tried, but there are distributors in the US. I'm not going to say too much, but there are distributors in the US who've tried, and Toho wants too much cash for it.
Of course they do.
Now things
Of
are
course.
changing at Toho. Maybe something will. It is the 50th anniversary of Zone this year. If something was
Yes.
going to happen, we'd already heard about it. But
Yep.
maybe in the next
Yeah.
couple of years, something with Zone Fighter will happen. Super X 3 or 2, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing is so. We've spent a lot of time talking about this one dude, but look at it.
Oscar,
It's-
hold on. It's coming. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay, so we spent a lot of time talking about this. The next thing I want to let Eric talk about a little bit because Eric, you ordered this. Yeah,
I absolutely did.
This is the RMC aggregate destroyer. This is the one we clarified last night. This is the one that fought Junior, right?
Yes. Yes.
This is the junior. Yeah, this is the junior.
The
crap.
Junior Killer.
I was just gonna say that Junior Killer.
This is the Junior Killer. Yes.
No.
This child murderer.
So Eric, what's for the benefit of the viewers at home? What scale is this in? How big is this
So
thing?
this is gonna be 34 centimeters tall and 54 centimeters long with his tail. This is based off the model kit done by Black Dragon, who obviously put out their perfect form destroyer within the last couple weeks. Honestly, I actually got that one too, so I would be getting this. And then right behind this, I would assume maybe a little bit in a couple months, they'll probably be doing the flying destroyer. That'll
Yes.
be making up the whole evolution of destroyer, basically, except for like the crustaceous crab, form and stuff like that. But yeah, this is going to be a big boy. It's polyurethane resin mixed with some other things that it's made from. Same kind of material that the perfect form was made from. But yeah, this is going to be a big boy. It looks great. The paint job looks amazing. So I cannot wait for this. You can get this on the X Plus Rick site or the Godzilla store right now, and they're about $350 plus shipping. So you're looking at just under $500 for the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit on the more expensive side, mainly because of how heavy it's going to be, the weight of the box, and the size of the box. That's like how they're just going to be expensive, which is way less than what you would probably expect, obviously. But since we got to move on, really quickly, Joe, did you pre-order this? Did you get this yet? I can't remember.
Are you pre-ordering it right now? Done! Yeah! That's my boy.
Good. You're a good man, Joe. You're a good man. Okay, so moving on. I talked about this last night, but I'm a sucker for 1964. I think these little glow-in-the-dark Gumi figures are really funny or really fun. I would like to get my hands
They're
on
funny
these.
too.
Well, they're funny. Yeah, Gumi is just a funny word, but because I used to call them gummies, but they're Gumis. And this little glow-in-the-dark 1964, this is fun. I might try to hunt this down. I don't know. I can't remember what the price point is because it's cut off here, but they're fun. Next one is that looks like we're getting a re-release of the Biollante. Who here has the original release? I think we all do, except for me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Danny, don't you have a Biollante?
I have the Monster Arts and the old Bondi. I do not have.
okay.
I do not have this one.
The big one. The big.
This would
one.
have this would have required me to sell probably most of my internal organs, and I decided that lungs were probably more important. I did consider, because I do have 2 lungs. I did consider getting rid of one, but no. I figured being able to take nice deep breaths was more important. I needed my kidney. I ran through the whole list. It was a big decision. But I decided that the surgery would be too expensive. So there you go.
Well, considering a very special project that you're working on with our good friend Kaiju Kim, with our good friend Kim, I think
Have we played the trailer for that here?
We did last week, I believe.
We did last week, yes. Quite. So
we can play it again. I'm not going to complain. We got to promote this sucker. But
we might.
Right now, though, we got to talk about this toy.
Yeah, we got to talk about toys right now. Hang on one second. We got to move on. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Love it.
Nightmare Gamera. Nightmare Gamera.
What? This is the cutest Nightmare Gamera I have ever seen.
Yes, Nightmare Gamera. So X Plus is
he
gonna be
looks
releasing...
like he looks like an evil Funko Pop.
X Plus is releasing in their Defo line, their Defo Real line. This is more up. I think Travis's alley. I know a few of us, we like the Defos. I'm not as big into the Defos, but I will admit, like I have to kind of eat my words last night, Eric. This little guy, the more I see it, is starting to grow on me.
Right. Right.
I love this picture with the little Gauss. Looks like
Yeah,
it's looking up
that's
to
great.
him, like a little bird waiting to get fed when he's actually going to get eaten.
Oh, he's just looking
Nathan
at his
or Michael.
death.
Michael,
Yes.
I've got a question. Are you saying you're going to defo get Lee this figure?
I am.
How long have you been sitting on that joke?
I am
Well, I just finished
definitely.
eating, so.
I am definitely considering it.
Wow.
And considering also that this is a fully painted example or a fully painted prototype, I'm imagining that pre-orders will open very, very soon.
Well, it says
it
looks
will.
like
It's coming out
November.
in November, so
It says
yeah.
it comes out in November, so we should be seeing it within at least the next month. We should see pre-orders starting. I think the
Not
Baragon.
days.
What did the Baragon say? Was that November or December? I can't remember now.
I don't remember. I have to look at
Did
it
it
again.
Did it give a date? I don't know if
Yeah, it should have been on the tag.
Let me check. Oh, I can find it.
Yeah, we'll check. Adrian, are you going to be getting this little guy?
No, I don't collect defos. That's the rabbit hole I'm trying to fall down.
Hey,
At least-
But I do love it. It looks incredible.
At least you're consistent. Joe? You're muted.
You're
sir.
muted, Joe.
you're muted,
You're
buddy.
muted. You're muted, Pawpaw.
You're muted,
Joe.
Papa.
How do you
No.
do this?
Joe, speak to me, boy.
I'm in prison.
There. Oh, wait.
Joe, talk to
There. I have
Joe,
a
talk to me,
note.
boy.
Aw.
Joseph.
Joseph, talk to me, boy.
Joe, hey, my man.
Pawpaw's got it.
Have you turned it off and turned it back on yet?
I 100% I'm getting this. I love it. I think it looks great. Big fan of Nightmare Gamera. So 100% yes.
This is in the more affordable of. This is one of the more affordable examples that came out of Wonderfest. Anyone else going to be grabbing this?
It's
Elijah,
tempting, I will admit.
Elijah, you're getting into collecting again, aren't you?
Come on,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get him. We'll get him there. Don't worry.
We'll get him there. We'll get him
He
there.
bought
He's-
some X
We'll
pluses
get you
last year. He was
He's
at
got a
OG
big-
Fest. He was proud of them.
No, I didn't.
He's
buy
got a
any
big.
X-Pluses.
He's got a big boy job now. He's got big boy
I
money.
so I have two defos. I think I was like, I have extra money and I'm just gonna buy something. So I ended up buying 2 of them. I won't be picking this up. I don't plan on diving into the defos. I'm kind of that person that I'll buy anything if it has Godzilla or Gamera on it. And I take that literally. I will buy anything if it's Godzilla or Gamera, King Kong as well. So I am for one. I mean, it looks great. It looks absolutely phenomenal. The detail on it's it's perfect. So I won't be picking it up, but I can definitely see why somebody would. It's amazing.
We need more Nightmare Gammas in the world. There aren't enough. There aren't enough collectibles of
No.
this character
No.
for sure. So I'm glad to see that more are coming.
All right. Speaking of defo reels, I know this will tickle Danny's Mothra loving heart.
Yes.
So we're
His
getting
larvae?
this will tickle his larvae.
Can we not?
Wow.
Oh dear. Well, now I just feel weird sitting here hugging my butterfly on the internet. Now you've made it weird.
Okay, so this comes out in December, so this is probably going to start shipping. This is probably going to start ship or pre-order soon as well. Is anyone getting the Defo Reel 1961 Mothra larva? Okay, not me. I'm not the biggest Mothra fan because
Sorry, something stuck in my throat. It's fine.
Because I'm an evil sadist.
I know.
It's stuck in your throat, right? What? Wait.
Yeah, like
what?
just like the words.
The words?
Yeah,
Just like the
just
words.
like the words. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Potentially, maybe, possibly, perhaps. There's a chance.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, possibly. So I actually don't have I don't have any Defo reels. I have none. And I've been
shame.
I know it's something. It's extra. I'm like Elijah. I'll get anything. I don't limit myself necessarily based on anything like that. But I just don't have I don't have a lot of X Plus in general. I need to get more, but it's just like I've talked about this before. But I could get so many like VHS tapes and informational books for the amount of money it would cost to get me one X Plus. So usually I go for the knowledge. And
at least what, 200 koosh balls?
200 like weird thing. You know how many squeaky hammers I could get, man? You know how many squeaky hammers? 3. Well, no. No.
You like the weird stuff, Danny.
I like my Bondis. I like my odd things. I like my books. I like my copies of the films, like the history aspect, the academic aspect, and then with toys. Like so, I don't have like any of this rule. I have X Plus. I've got the 54 Train Biter, which is an absolute centerpiece of my collection. I have a 2000. I have the 92 Mothra right over there because I'm a Mothra addict. If I'm going to bite the bullet and start getting defos, this is, hey, X Plus, this is how you do it. This is how you get me. You do Mothra stuff. And you start with the cute little larva. Oh my goodness, my heart. Look how beautiful. She's just lovely.
It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but is this an unpainted prototype or something like that? Or is it actually going to look like this?
No, it's actually going to look like this. It's
really
going to look like this. Yes, it's going to look like this.
Oh.
It's all gray with this is an unpainted
Actually,
I was waiting for the hammer to come down.
I'm just messing with you, Eric. I'm just messing with you, Nathan.
Now it is a fair question because sometimes things like this are sold as unpainted kits. So it's a fair
sometimes they are, but it doesn't happen all that often. In terms of as far as the defos go,
defo reels don't really do that.
Defo reels don't really go that way. There are a few like monochrome versions of defo reels, but like we will see this painted at some point coming.
Yeah,
I would say
around December for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna see this in the next month, at least the next month for pre-order.
So I'm like 20 minutes behind on answering this question, but I would love to see a Markalite cannon into an action figure.
Yes.
I just had this really crazy idea. Can you imagine some of these Toho vehicles as Transformers?
Oh,
that would be amazing.
Oh,
it would be amazing, like a Gotengo that turns into an Autobot or something.
What about a Mecha Godzilla that transforms?
Ooh. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see the Black Shark submarine from Latitude Zero, and I want it to turn into a giant Caesar Romero in thigh-high boots. That's what I want. I want giant
Mecha Romero.
Mecha Romero.
Mecha Romero.
Yeah.
As wonderful as that sounds, we do have to move on because we're technically over time on this section. But
Whoa!
but
Orangey.
no.
What?
That's
You
not an
didn't just say
orangey?
that.
Nathan,
No!
get your Hydra out of
I'm out.
here.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I can't do this. Ray weeps. Ray weeps.
Oh, it's the
Running in his grave.
Hydra. Okay.
Yes,
Got a lot of heads, guys.
Hi there, Ray Harryhausen. I'm incredibly displeased by you not having an accurate knowledge of my filmography. Also, this is what I sound like. Ray.
You know, Nathan, as the self-proclaimed fan of Ray Harryhausen, you'd think you'd know your Hydras from your Orochis.
I am shamed.
Or I don't think Nathan knows a Hydra from the hole in the ground.
I don't know how. What?
Listen, sir, it's time to fork over your nerd card, please. Please put it in the mail and mail it to me.
So I know we gotta speed this section up a little bit just to keep it on time, but I put this in here for Danny. I would love to get all of the Harryhausen stuff, but I don't have the room for it. And
I don't have the room.
How big is this?
It's a roommate.
More than 2 inches.
No, it's not a roommate. This I would say this is probably gonna be
More than Michael can handle.
This is going to be about as big as I would say the Kraken. Maybe a
that's
little
what I was gonna
smaller
say,
than the
too.
Kraken. The Kraken, yeah. Wouldn't you guys say?
Something. I mean, I'm trying to get a good frame of reference for how big the dang thing is. The picture doesn't do a great job of scaling
No,
it.
this is
but,
not a great picture. Yeah.
well, it's a great picture. It's just not a great scale picture. If I had all the money in the world and, a mansion, then I would have, there's not a single one of these I would have missed. I only have three of the Harryhausen X pluses thus far: Bubo, the Rhedosaur, and the Triceratops from 1 million years BC. I am
If I
probably
were a rich man.
yeah, I don't list, but because owning these models is significant to me because of how important Ray is, and like this is something I don't have any of in my collection. Is this Hydra, and it would look great with the skeleton that they're putting out, and it would look great, like oh my god, with the Talos. I mean, I know they don't meet in the film, but this is one where I wondered to myself, are they going to be able to do a Jason Hydra? Is it too complicated? Is it too big? What is the engineering going to look like to be able to have this thing hold its necks up? With as much trouble as X Plus has had over the years with like their Ghidorahs.
The necks are definitely a concern. I think like if you get this into a hot room, wouldn't you say, Eric? If you get this into like a hot room or a hot basement, the necks will start to sag.
Oh,
What
absolutely.
is it made
I
of?
mean, that whole body would just start touching the ground.
It should be made of it's made of vinyl. It should be made of vinyl unless they go mix materials to help with the stability on the heads.
Yeah, I would guess something that high end you would want to do that because I have the I'm trying to remember what's called the flying cobra thing from GVK.
The
Warbat?
The
Warbat. I have the
Warbat.
I have the Playmates Warbat, and that thing is a pain in the neck to get to stand up because it'll get soft and pliable and just go and it won't.
You don't like soft and pliable stuff?
So anyway, this toy looks really good.
This toy looks really good. It looks really
great.
Cool.
It's beautiful. The fidelity to the actual puppet is astonishing. I know for a fact, and this was something I actually thought for a while, that they I had it in my, I don't remember where I read it, but somewhere that they had actually gone to the Harryhausen archive and scanned the puppets. But that is not true, actually. They used reference photos. They looked at the puppets, but the Ray Harryhausen Foundation, and I actually confirmed this by talking to one of its members, is they have not provided digital scan. They have scanned the puppets for posterity, but they have done so without the intent of having them be replicated as figures, and also they have no intention of ever making those models available so that they can be animated later on. It's like CGI style. just so that they can kind of protect
Smart move.
Ray's work. And like doing something like this, you'd think, like looking at it, it looks for all the world like they scanned the original puppet. So I'm incredibly impressed just with these photos. You don't even have like, prototype production up for pre-order, nice photos of this thing yet. And I'm already in awe of this thing. Will I ever own it? Probably not, unfortunately, but it is pretty. I will say that.
Danny, I have a quick question then. If they didn't scan the puppets with the Harryhausen Society, did they still have to get approval from the Harryhausen Society even make this?
Oh, this is not possible without them. I mean, if you look at the boxes, the Ray and Diana Harryhausen Foundation is credited on every box because
so the
designs are owned by
has
Ray.
to approve this product. They just can't scan the puppet
because of the designs. The
designs
are Ray's.
The designs are owned by Ray and now the foundation, and the film rights have to be negotiated on a studio by studio basis. So for this, they would have had to go to Sony. But by and large, these are licensed by dealing directly with the foundation.
Okay.
There you go.
So just the stipulation is you can't scan the puppets. Got it.
Yeah, the puppets you can't scan the puppets. Well, you can't use the scans that they have because they have scanned them for posterity for film preservation and teaching later on, but you can't use it for anything else.
So I'm guessing they just had to get lots of reference materials to make this.
Lots of reference materials.
So really quickly, I want to do something really quick because I know we're getting a little over time, and I want to make sure that we're respecting the time frame. I'm going to stop my share just really quickly. And I want to walk and I want to show a quick little video. Eric, thank you for sending that to me. Of our friends at the Spiral table. Let me make sure that I've got it correctly pulled up here. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so we're not gonna watch the whole thing, but we're not gonna watch the whole thing. But our friend Nick Sides took this video of the Spiral table at Wonderfest, and the viewers watching and the viewers listening to this audio version later, what you're seeing is the what we're looking at currently is the Spiral toy. What is that line called? Vinyl Monsters Archive. Yeah, Vinyl Monsters Archive. Shin Godzilla that they're going to be doing. And then as we're panning through here, they showed off the prototypes for their Artisan Dynasty Godzilla 1965, which I think looks great. What Eric, Joe, what do you guys think?
Absolutely.
That looks great, honestly. Joe, you're muted again.
Joe.
Motherfucker. Okay. Sorry about that.
Dragon Dagger? What the heck?
Everything looks great. I love what Spiral's doing. Shout out to AJ and all them. They're doing fantastic work.
I'm really curious what these are. Like what these are going to be. The TYG GMKs and the Burning Godzilla.
My only thing is slow down the releases so I can afford them all.
Yep.
That part.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I want them all.
That part. So as we're going through here, Nick is sharing everything. He'll start kind of going down through the table here at some point to show all of the goodies that Spiral toy. There's the Behemoth. The Behemoth is huge. Eric,
huge.
Eric, did you and Joe ordered the Behemoth? Yeah.
Yep, we did.
I ordered 3.
You ordered
You
3.
did not.
Yeah, we're gonna resell them, flip them.
We approve of capitalism on this stream.
I'm just gonna put an S at the end of toy, so it's Spiral Toys.
I think you have to have a larger percentage of difference, but
Spirals the toys. There
Don't-
we go.
Do not touch this sign. You can touch the
Do
toys,
not
but don't touch
do
the
not
sign.
touch. That's the do not touch. Do not touch the no square.
The,
Beautiful burning Godzilla.
the no square. This thing is this. Oh my gosh, the wings on the. It's so good.
So
It's
good.
so good.
It's so good. It's so good. Come on, Nick. Don't go back to the Shin. No one cares about Shin. Come on.
Ouch.
Yeah, Shin's been overdone.
We're a little
Have to get
overdone.
more Shin.
We're a little bit overdone on Shin. So
Yeah, we are.
yeah, Spiral's going to be releasing their legacy line Shin Godzilla, which looks
Good luck, more
phenomenal. Yeah, it looks phenomenal. It looks way better than the wasted gigantic Shin Godzilla that old Mega Beast / X Plus is going to be putting out. But because that thing is hideous. But that's as much as I will say on this stream because we got to keep it family friendly.
I'll say more.
No.
Then Kim
So
will cancel you.
So there's going to be a closed mouth. There's going to be a split jaw version and a normal jaw version. If I was to get either one of these, it'd be the normal jaw version. I think the split jaw version is hideous. I think the split jaw is hideous.
We already have the
don't-
normal jaw, so if I get it, it'll have to be a split jaw.
Yeah, it'd have to be the split jaw.
You ain't
I
getting
love the little base as we're looking at it here. They're
That's
doing like these
cool.
little custom bases.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this will have like I'm assuming that little base will be similar to the Burning Godzilla, where it'll have like a little light up mechanism embedded into it. So it's all going to be light up. It's going to be lit up. It's going to be beautiful. So yeah, this thing looks fun. It's huge. It's really big. There's a close up of the tail with the mouth and the tail. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Moving.
I'm guessing this
Good.
will cost one firstborn.
We don't know yet. I'm assuming now. This is a little bit.
Yes.
This is a little point of controversy.
It's beautiful. Look at that.
mean
It's a little
Zilla?
point of the Zilla.
Zilla,
Name, yeah.
Zilla?
Zilla.
The one that's
Yeah.
trademarked by Toho? Zilla?
Yeah, the one that doesn't look hideous like the Omega Beast looks
Oh,
hideous. Because there was
You know,
apparently some.
you want to see some photos of that? I got some photos of that.
Oh
Oh,
no.
did you buy it?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say.
Hold on.
I was gonna
you
say,
know,
didn't someone leak some photos online of that hideous looking Zilla from G?
No idea who it
Did.
was,
I
though.
think someone
Yeah, it was a huge
Huge deal.
Some guy calling himself the iceberg.
the iceberg. Yeah.
Iceberg. Because he's
Dai
always
Kaiju's iceberg. Dai Kaiju iceberg.
Daikaiju
I-
iceberg
So-
explained.
Adrian, you're the biggest. Adrian, you're the bigger 84. Well, no, you and Joe both huge 84 fans. What do you two think about that 84?
I'm
Not impressed at all.
I'm not
Okay.
impressed with the face. The face is just off.
Yeah. But Eric pointed it out last night that it's probably a prototype that was whipped together very shortly.
Yep.
So I'm cautiously optimistic because
Yeah. Same.
84 is one of my favorites, but that one does not do anything for me. So
The body and proportions are under is perfect. It's just the face.
Right.
It's
Right.
only the face.
right.
Yeah. Now it's fair to it's worth pointing out that what we're seeing here, the 84, the 2021, and this Zilla running pose, this is all Tanaka Studios. This is not necessarily Spiral, but they will eventually become Spiral products later. But these are kits that were put together by Tanaka himself, or built or created by Tanaka himself.
I don't know what it is about this running Zilla, but I really love that running Zilla.
I do like the running Zilla. Yeah.
And we also glossed over it. I'm not a fan of the tail stand underneath Zilla's fingers.
No. Not at all.
No.
That's terrifying.
No.
Yeah, no,
that's
disappointing.
disappointing. It's
Very much
disappointing
so.
because I thought he was going to be more upright than that. I'm really.
I think we all thought that, yeah, which is very disappointing. But the GMK
that-
looked phenomenal.
Oh, I can't
GMK
wait.
does.
I can't
no,
wait.
I cannot wait.
Oh, I can't wait to get my GMK. It's going to be gorgeous.
You got to do
Ah.
a stream about that. I can't wait to get mine.
It's perfect. It's the perfect GMK, not
It
that
is.
murder duck looking thing that X Plus put out. Sorry, Leslie.
I like the gigantic, but I'm a fan of stylized. So
Yeah, that's true. You are. That's true.
The detail
true.
on this
So-
thing is astonishingly good.
Yeah, these busts are really great. Looks like they're going to be coming out with some smaller busts.
Yep.
That smaller GMK bust, the smaller Shin bust,
Something in my price
Um,
range. Yay.
something in closer to everyone's price range, right?
Yeah.
My biggest disappointment. I was going to mention this before we kind of stopped the video. My biggest disappointment. I think we were talking about this earlier privately, Eric. Well, a few of us were talking about it privately. We're really shocked that they didn't show off the King Ghidorah at this show.
Yep. Very shocked. Disappointing too. We should have seen it.
Yeah, very disappointing. Because they have it, the prototype or production.
It's all done.
Yeah, like
So, yeah, I don't know if that was shipping something where they couldn't get it over in time.
And maybe it was a shipping issue, but that was a missed opportunity.
yeah.
For sure.
Oh, that Zilla's making me sad.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the tables
It's-
that are uneven.
It's beautiful.
It's
It's
fantastic.
it's beautiful, but it's a little disappointing that it's more hunched over than what we were expecting.
Yep.
So they're
Yep.
just kind of going back through these again. We don't have to watch. We don't have to finish the video because
Yep.
we're already kind of long on this section.
Yeah.
But next we have to pass it off to Mr. Marchand for comics and video games.
Video games, yeah, not nearly as much as there was last week, unfortunately. Now, the first one I will mention, and I do have a little screen catch for this one. Do I? Yes, and that is for those who have been following. Let me get this up here. For those who've been following IDW's Godzilla comics, in particular Godzilla Rivals, we did have a cover reveal last week. I think it was the day we did the stream. So the next one will be Mecha Godzilla.
Ooh, that looks so good.
Yep.
Those look good.
I believe this is cover A, and then here is the variant.
Nice.
So the one you just showed was
Wait.
the retailer's incentive,
Yeah.
Oh, this is the
the art-
retailer
that's
incentive.
that's
okay.
Yes.
yeah.
inspired by Shin Godzilla, I might add.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And
That's
then
absolutely.
I'm
good.
guessing this is the primary cover then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cover B, I think.
Cover B, yeah. Yeah, so a variant.
I don't like that cover nearly as much.
What,
No,
this, as
not at
much
all.
as this one?
As much as I like that one,
That one's-
but I
that
don't
one's-
like
Which is saying something, Michael, because you have made it no secret you don't like Shin.
Yeah, but that looks like a beautiful cover. I don't get Shin from that. I know it's inspired by Shin, but I don't get Shin from that.
I get more
just-
GMK.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get more
same.
GMK for that.
Mhm.
But I just don't like that one. I thought that one kind of looks like a grade schooler did it.
For real.
Wow.
No, it really does. And it's honestly, it's frustrating because sometimes you'll have these books, whether it's Power Rangers or Godzilla or whatever, where it's like it's kind of like it just looks sloppy. It looks I don't
mean,
know.
There's a cover for Monsters and Protectors that the artist traced both SHMAs for Godzilla and Biollante.
Yeah, you'd be shocked how much that doesn't just happen with Godzilla comics. That unfortunately just happens a
Right.
lot in comics in general.
Right.
What happened, Elijah? What did he do?
So in I think it's issue 3 of Monsters and Protectors, the artist for the cover traced the promotional image for both the 1994 SHMA Godzilla and the Biollante Godzilla, or Biollante SHMA. So on the cover, like you can actually line up the images, and it's 1-to-1 the exact same. Like you can even see the joints in the picture.
Wow,
bad.
that is
It's pretty bad.
sloppy.
It's pretty bad. It's almost as bad as the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong comics.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
scratch that off.
I mean, it's true. Godzilla's traced in all of those. Like, if we're being honest here, like all of that's a traced Godzilla from promotional images.
That's true. That's yeah.
Like, Legendary has had a horrible history of just tracing Godzilla in all of their comics. Aftershock is riddled with panels traced.
But like I said, it's not just limited to Godzilla comics.
Yeah, that's true.
There are artists in the comic book world who are
I
notorious.
think Joe's going to confirm what I've said.
I think he is, too.
So anyway, we had, well, like I said, last week it was the 23rd, so exactly 1 week ago, we had the covers revealed for that.
Mhm.
And then the next quick item of business I had is Giga Bash. We talked about this before in a previous stream. Giga Bash is releasing on the Nintendo Switch August 3rd.
Mhm.
And we did also, so if you've been waiting for it to get onto the Switch, now's your chance. I know Travis was saying that he was excited to finally have that on the Switch. I have it on the PS4.
Mhm.
And I should mention, I'll just mention really briefly, it's not on my list, the solicitations for the Kong, what was it? It's the World War II one we talked about before.
The bad one?
Crap, I can't remember what it's called now. But it's a it's World War One. That's what it was. No, it's the Great War. It's Kong the Great War. The solicitation for issue number 5 of that, which will be out in October, went up this week. And then the only other thing I'm going to mention is some Power Rangers comic news, is that with issue 110 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Boom is gearing up for their next Power Rangers event, which will be Darkest Hour.
Darkest Hour. Yeah,
Mhm.
looking forward to that one.
Is Jason back?
No.
I don't give a shit.
Whoa! Dragon Dagger.
Tell us how you really feel, Joe.
Tell us how you really feel, Joe. Come on.
Okay, here we go. Get that button ready.
Oh,
So,
Oh, jeez.
If we're gonna give him
bleep,
if we're gonna
bleep.
give this to him, we gotta put him on full screen. Okay.
no, because I'll forget and say some swear words I shouldn't say. Yeah. Yeah. The boys heard me do a rant the other night, and it was profanity like none other.
Would you
so
say you were a master of that rant?
I would say I would.
No! Stop! Think about what you're doing. Regret it and no.
Don't
Repent.
tempt him.
I
your
regret
sins.
nothing.
Repent! The end is near. Gorgo reference.
Shame!
Repent!
Shame.
Shame.
Speaking of shame, I think it's time, unless Nathan, if you have anything else.
No, I
but
don't.
I believe
It's not
we
like
have
I said,
reached.
it's pretty light.
I believe we have reached the most noblest of podcasting traditions,
Most noble.
and that is the shameless self-promotion section of the podcast.
Shameless self-promotion.
You owe me money. Stole my trademark.
He's
Okay,
not paying you.
so we have went a little over, guys. So we tried to keep this around 2 hours. Thank you guys for sticking around with us. Adrian, thank you for popping in. Joe, thank you for taking time away from Momo. And Eric, well, what else are you gonna do on a Sunday?
Carrie's gonna murder you.
Yeah, it's okay. I just stick her on him. I don't have to do
I
anything.
see why Michael got a single for next G Fest is because someone will kill him before the end of the convention.
And it won't
In
even
his
be me.
sleep.
It'll be my girlfriend.
Actually,
I'm innocent.
I got the single for G-Fest to protect other people.
Selfless.
Anyway,
Shameless
Man of
self-isolation.
the people.
Shameless self-isolation.
But in all seriousness, Eric, my friend, shameless self-promotion. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you weren't done yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just Bearded Kaijus and box reviews. Check me out on YouTube. Actually just dropped a video today. Thank you to Leslie P. Chambers from Collect All Monsters. He kind of threw out the gauntlet a little bit and everything about ranking your show of films from 1 to 15 and everything. I just dropped that video today. And actually, towards the
Hashtag
end,
throw the whale.
if you have seen my video yet before this or check it out after, I did throw out some challenges to particular people in this stream. So I expect some of you to answer the call and actually do it. And I would like to see it on your channels and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to, yeah, you ain't going to hide from this one, Hamilton.
He's gone. It's just the disturbing toothy visage of Minya staring at us now. Michael,
yes, that's
touch
me.
it.
Oh no!
Oh, he came back.
Oh God!
I thought it was Yeti all over again.
No.
Oh no!
Danny, are you sure Minya left? I'm not sure.
No, I think he's
And then we
back
have
there
two minions?
staring at
No.
us. Look at him.
How long do I have?
Oh, that's Rito. Where'd Minya go? Why am I Rito? Jeez.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I do like the Minya back there, just kind of listening in, like, "Hey guys," like it's
Godzilla says I have to kill Michael.
But
I need to start a script for a show list.
I will make that video, Eric. I will make that video.
Am I going to
and
be
you will-
editing, Michael?
Where you
Am I
rank
going to
the show
edit it?
them?
And you will not like my answer.
Oh God, am I going to?
Wait. What are you supposed to do?
The only one I'm probably gonna like is Elijah anyway, so like I'm good.
Wait.
Let's go.
And
Elijah wins.
yes, Elijah, you will have to edit that video.
Of course.
No.
It's not like I have
don't
5
make-
videos.
No, Grandpa Hamilton can do it himself. Okay?
Oh,
Maybe
I wouldn't want to watch what Grandpa Hamilton can do. It'll be saving me.
I want to see what he brings out.
That
What
is
we'll
not
do-
that is not
what
what I
we'll-
went to school for. That is not my forte. I stay very, very far away from video.
What we'll do is we'll have Michael post his version on Facebook, and I'll put mine on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Or
So
you
his
just
his
do it
friends
for me,
can
or you just do my homework for me and call it
pay
good.
me. If you pay me, that's what
Number
I did
one
during
for him
senior
is
year.
Godzilla's Revenge.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
You're
yes,
gonna
I
put
have to rewatch
54 all the way at the bottom.
Go watch Eric's channel. It's amazing. Eric is an amazing human being. Go watch Eric's channel. We love Eric. Eric is one of my
We
best.
tolerate Eric.
Eric is one of my bestest friends in the whole wide world.
Eric's like
Yeah.
decent at best.
Speaking of decent at best, Joe, give your shameless dog.
All right.
Who's the better friend now?
I think at this point you probably are thinking, my enemies aren't so bad anymore. So
Oh, Eric knows he's my best bud. I'm just jerking his chain.
No.
So you guys can follow me at Married to Kaiju on YouTube. I am the rudest, crudest way. You will see Godzilla, Power Rangers, and other Toku properties reviewed, unboxed, and ultimately collected. I say rudest, crudest way because I don't edit. I don't know how to edit, and I don't want to learn how to edit. So it's all one take. It's kind of cheesy and whatever, but I got a lot of cool shit. So check me out. A lot of cool stuff. Oh, sorry, a lot of cool stuff. And Eric has seen my collection. He knows I've got a lot. I try to do as cool as I can for it all being one take. But yeah, please check me out. I would really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who invited me on and has supported me this far. So
Absolutely. Adrian, go for it.
Of course, I'm on YouTube and Instagram as Godzilla Chain 1090. YouTube for my figure reviews, and apparently now the challenge that Eric has thrown out. So I gotta go watch this video now. So they hear what the challenge is. I think I know what it is already. That's besides the point. And for my Instagram, again for my photography, which actually tomorrow I'm gonna be posting a photo shoot of Godzilla versus Gyra. So I'm really excited about that photo shoot.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
That was a fun shoot, so I'm really excited to get that out there. And of course, check us out on Monsters with Attitude. And on August 19th, we actually will be discussing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, hosted by the Power Trip's own host, Michael Hamilton and Nathan Marcham. Really excited for that show because I love Power Rangers growing up. Everybody who doesn't love Power Rangers growing up, so I'm really excited.
I know you're not booing me,
Coming
sir.
on.
I know you're not booing me.
Hmm?
It's all.
Are you sure?
I know you're not booing me. Thank you, Adrian. Your toy photography is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciated being able to see you at G Fest and actually give you a good bear hug. You were the first person I was greeted in the hotel whenever I got there. Yeah,
I was there. I can confirm.
it's true. Elijah, shameless self-promotion.
You know, I almost decided to do my Donald Trump impersonation just to add to the insanity of it. And you know what? I think it's okay.
You're
Hello,
gonna give
everybody.
Ghidorah an aneurysm.
Hello.
Me and aneurysm.
It's me. It's everybody's favorite Kaiju Ramen Media host. You know, we've had a great year so far. We've gone so far. We've tried so hard, but we're all to blame. I believe that we are going to single-handedly have the greatest stream in the history of streams here. It's been honestly the greatest, and I'm honored to have been able to share this moment, this great stream, this just showering stream of happiness and kaiju. Kaiju, that's a great word. You know, speaking of kaiju, I host according to Fox News, it's the greatest kaiju podcast in the history of podcasts, called Kaiju Conversation. It's huge. It's great. It's big.
Huge.
It's proud. We are a podcast that covers the wide world of tokusatsu. Not just kaiju, but tokusatsu. We're great. Let me tell you, we have the greatest. If you would like to follow that, it's on any podcast platform. It's also available if you can follow the socials at Kaiju_Converse. Converse like the shoe, but better because it's run by me. The greatest. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel. Even though it doesn't have the most subscribers in the world, it's the greatest YouTube channel in the world. It's scientifically proven. It's true. It's the greatest. ET13 Productions. You can also follow it on Twitter and Instagram at the handle ET13 Productions. And now I'm going to post the greatest list in the history of the world, covering the Showa Kaiju films of Godzilla, all 15. It's going to be the greatest list. It's going to be approved by one of Eric, and it's going to be great. We're going to have a great time, and everybody's going to love it. And quite honestly, I don't know why you aren't already following me, because let's be real here. I'm the greatest. I'm literally the best in the entire world in history. And no matter what, the dude to my right here, left on the screen, says it's rigged, it's wrong, whatever he says, it's not true. It's fake news. And that's it. So thank you everybody so much, and God bless you.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to meet with you again.
Elijah, you were this close to me busting out the mouth harp. You were so close.
I'm surprised I didn't crack.
God.
No, you did good.
Subscribe.
You can that campaign speech just convinced Eric to subscribe.
That hasn't convinced anybody to subscribe. I don't know what will.
I think Kim speaks for all of us.
Oh,
I was
Nathan, shameless self-promotion.
How am I gonna top that? Hi, my name's Elijah. No, I'm not. Identity. I know identity theft. Yeah, I'm Nathan Marchand. I am the editor of this magazine.
Start campaigning now.
I'm gonna make Godzilla and Kaiju great again. We're gonna have the greatest movies in the history of Kaiju. It's gonna be great. We got this. We're gonna do great.
Oh, Jesus, help us. Jesus, come quickly. Anyway,
are we going to campaign to change the legal age for presidents?
Elijah's the oldest one in the stream. What are you talking about?
He is. Yeah.
He's the oldest one. He is no longer the child.
No, apparently.
The child.
No.
He's no longer the child.
He's no longer the child. Anyway, continue, Nathan.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't. How do I can't compete with that.
Don't
No,
try.
Just,
Don't even
We'll try.
That's what I
check
thought.
out my author website, nathanjsmarchand.com, which admittedly is in need of being updated, but you can go check that out. I will be over at Gen Con next weekend selling my books. If you're in the neighborhood and want to, come say hi to me, I know one of my fellow podcasters is going to be there, Luke Giaconetti. Looking forward to finally meeting him in person. And I run about as many podcasts as Elijah's age. So the Monster Island Film Vault, Henshin Men, and the Power Trip.
45?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
45?
45, yes, 45.
45.
Last I checked. So be sure to go check all of them out. They're on all the socials. The Film Vault is on Patreon. All of that fun stuff. I think I've covered basically everything because we need to end the stream and I can't compete with Elijah. Can I be your running mate? I mean, the last vice president was a former governor of my state, so
that's impeachment before the campaign even starts. So I saved, of course, the best for last, Mr. Donnie Damana.
Wait, you didn't do yours.
He said best for last.
Yeah.
But apparently
Yes.
Michael is last, so
Yeah, well, I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing.
Best for last, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time. The best for last in terms of all the guests, Nathan.
Oh, come on with that. I mean, thank you. You're very flattering, but come on with that. Oh, please. You're making me blush.
Go ahead.
Okay. Ever so briefly, if this is the usual spiel at this point, if the idea of reading the Godzilla movies as prose novels for free sounds like your jam, head over to GodzillaNovelizationProject.com. That is my main thing in the fandom. Is I have been systematically novelizing all of the Japanese Godzilla films, and posting the chapters online for free. The website, GodzillaNovelizationProject.com, is where you'll find all of the book chapters serialized. It's where you'll find other projects like the short stories. I have a new one coming up soon. No spoilers. The timelines, a blog, and links to all of my socials, including Twitter. I'm still calling it that because I don't care. There's a Facebook. You can also support
Twitter X. Yeah,
we all, if you know, and we all know. I'm also on Patreon, which I use. That money is incredibly beneficial. It helps me get research materials. It helps me, like, if I need to take a day off of work or something, I can do that. It's going to help me translate stuff, all this stuff. And actually, just recently, that money went into renewing my WordPress subscription, which, without getting too into the weeds, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to afford to upgrade or keep it. And Patreon came through and saved my butt. So that's incredibly helpful for me. And so now the website gets to stay up with no annoying ads. So in addition to all of that, I write and do all kinds of cool stuff for Kaiju Ramen Media and Kaiju Ramen Magazine. I have an article in issue 10, which is coming out here soon, which is, yes, I'm incredibly excited about that. I hope people like my my kind of weird, fun topic that I got to write for. But above and beyond all of that right now, my big push right now that I absolutely have to talk about is the short film that the lovely, amazing Miss Kaiju Kim, the Queen, Nathan, you got it. The Queen
of the Fabulous Empire.
Thank you. Is working on a.
All right, I was trying to find the promo image for you.
Oh, thank you. Go for it, man. Yeah. I don't see you saluting, gentlemen. Okay, come on.
We're new. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. So Kim, and we are 2 days away from this launching. Kim is working on creating a short film, an animated short film called Erica, that is going to be retelling the events of Godzilla vs. Biollante from the perspective of the tortured and trapped human soul stuck inside of the Rose as she slowly feels herself being corrupted by Godzilla cells and turning into a monster. This is a film idea that she's had in her head for years. She is going to be using her filmmaking prowess and the help of some super cool people to animate and voice act for this thing. And I am just absolutely honored and blessed. There it is, to have been asked to write the screenplay for this thing. So I am going to be writing this film. And we're going to be kickstarting it. We're looking for about 10 grand so that we can get singular point quality animation out of this short film. It's going to look awesome by the time we're done. And again, I'm going to be writing it. The wonderful Alyssa Charpentier, who's a great author in her own right and has an amazing voice, is going to be the voice of Erica for this film. We are ready to rock and roll on this. The Kickstarter goes live in Check's Watch 2 days. That's insane. August 1st? Yeah, August 1st.
Yep,
it's coming.
August 1st.
August 1st, it is coming. Down the line, we need the help of thank you for the link. The link is in the comments. We need the help of every kaiju fan out there to help make this film happen. 10 grand is a lofty goal, but it's going to be going toward making a really special film. And again, since Toho owns all the copyrights, naturally, this is not something that Kim can make money off of. So this is entirely a passion project. It'll be uploaded for free for fans to watch, but we can't make it happen and compensate the artists without help from the fans. So if anybody out there is able to donate, we got some cool perks. And even if you're not able to donate, which is totally fine, spread the word. Tell fans, tell Godzilla lovers out there. If you know any botanists, please tell the botanists in your life. Please give us your money. If you know any psychics, if you know any geneticists that might be interested, please. If you know any Seradian terrorists, please give them our
I will give money to this only if Kim allows me to voice the Seradian agent.
The guy who has 2 lines.
Hang on. Here's your trial run. Say kiss, you guys.
Kiss you.
Kiss you. Kiss. It was my turn, Marchand.
Try again.
Kiss.
Try again.
Kiss you guys.
One more time. We got to get for the real.
Kiss you guys.
Okay, there we go. That's your talent reel. You're sending that. Kim, you got it. Think about it. Let me know I'm his agent.
This just in. Kim has messaged me and told me that she's removing the role of the Seradian agent from the film. He will no longer be a character.
She can't have someone who's been canceled numerous times play him.
This is true. It would be bad PR. All kidding aside, we're still figuring out details behind the scenes, and by we I mean Kim. She's got this is absolutely her baby. I am happy to get on podcast. Hi, I'm gone. Yeah, I'll allow it. I'm happy to just get on here and evangelize for this thing because I'm really, really fortunate to be working on it. I really am just thrilled and blessed that she asked me. Yep. And yes, I'm beating a dead horse here, but this is going live in 2 days. Definitely back if you can, so we can bring this film to you. And even if you can't back, all kidding aside, with apologies to any Seradian agents listening, please do spread the word, and we can make this thing happen. And I'm just incredibly excited for Kim and incredibly excited for you all to see what she has planned. So
do you think you could have this done by next G-Fest? And premiere
I'm not the person to ask. We do have there is a timeline involved. You'll know it when you look on the Kickstarter page. We're planning to have things kind of in the can and deliverable by the end of next year. So potentially, but I can't speak to it because I don't know. There are so many moving parts with this thing. And yes, on Tuesday, on the 1st, you'll be able to see all the details. You'll be able to see the backing tiers and the cool stuff that you'll get. And there might even be a couple of other interesting reward things that get added later that may or may not happen. I'm not going to say too much, but you'll just have to see. And please tell other people. And, cough up the cash too. That would be nice. But, but yeah, please do spread the word. We would appreciate it.
And speaking of spreading the word, while Nathan chokes on something up there,
he's spreading his dirt.
Up the money. I was working on it.
I don't want it if it's got your spit on it, Marchand. I really don't.
It still spins. Anyway.
Like I said, issue 10 is coming out middle of August. we're working on issue 11 currently as well. So stay tuned for all of that and everything else. It's kaijuromanmedia.com. And before we get out of here, because we're about 30 minutes over, I gotta say, help control the giant monster population. Have your Seradian agents spayed or neutered. Bye, guys.
Ouch, you guys.
Ouch, you guys.
Oh,